Recording.
Now?
Yep.
All right, we're live. Welcome back to the annual Take a Shot podcast at this point. So NFL 2024 season starting, and I was thinking we would just do our NFL predictions coming up. Joined by Jesse, our producer slash casual NFL enthusiast, El Jefe.
Don't know about that, but okay.
Downtown Browntown.
Welcome.
And I'm Chris. Okay, so let's start it off with basically what I was wanting was I want your guys' playoff predictions for each conference, AFC, NFC. I want your 1 seed through your 7 seed. And if this is off the top of the dome, it's okay. But I kind of just want to start there of who you think is going to make the playoffs and what seed. If you guys need time, that's okay. I can.
Well, I mean, obviously, because I thought we were going into this.
You want to do divisions?
A different aspect.
You want to do divisions?
I thought we were doing win.
Oh yeah, let's do win-loss. Yeah, let's do win-loss. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm not closing my eyes. I'm just squinting.
You got the win-loss?
I was going to pull up the over-unders.
Let's do it. Over-unders. Let's do it. Kayla's a better host than me.
Is that on the ESPN website?
What's that?
Just Google NFL win-loss, NFL over-unders for 2024 season.
Got it.
All right, so all of my over-unders are going to be based off of the FanDuel over-unders.
Okay.
We'll start at the bottom, work our way up here.
Yeah, you do that.
So New England. Anybody got a guess at what their over-under is?
3.5.
I'll say 4.5.
4.5 is the number.
Oh, wow.
Anybody taking the over on 4.5?
It's going to be a no for me.
I'm going to take the under.
Yeah.
I will also be taking the under for New England.
When do they get because normally how that works is when a team that's supposed to be terrible, if they are going to jump their expected record, normally they need to win at least one divisional game. How's that going to happen? They're not beating the Bills, I don't think. They beating the Dolphins? I don't think so.
Did they do it last year?
They beat the Bills once, I think, because it's just one of the games where Josh Allen threw 4 interceptions or something.
Yeah, I think they'll win a division game, but then they're going to drop a game that maybe they should quote unquote win. I don't know how many of those quote unquote wins that you can say the Patriots are supposed to have.
Here's a fun thing that we can do. Maybe do we want to look at the schedule itself, just for each team, and we don't have to do this for each team, but
You can do the strength of the schedule.
well, I just was gonna just run down who they play real quick, and then be like, okay, where are they getting their wins from?
I'm just sad that Drake May went there. As you guys know, I was pretty high on Drake May, but his career is now over before it even started.
Yeah, but where else?
Never taken an NFL snap.
Where else is he going?
Well, nowhere now.
But that's what I'm saying.
He wanted him in a better spot that actually
at
had
number
offensive
one?
talent.
No. I would have liked to have seen New England because what was the
No,
draft?
I'm just
They
saying.
could have got Marvin Harrison Jr. to set themselves up for we can upgrade at a quarterback.
Yeah, and then maybe Drake May.
Arizona goes to Drake May. Who
Maybe.
goes to Drake May at that point?
Giants, if he would have fell.
I think the Giants potentially take him there, or maybe Minnesota does instead of J.J. McCarthy at that point if he slides there.
Okay, so what'd you say? The over-under is 4.5, you said?
4.5.
Okay, so where are they getting their 5 wins from? I think we're all in agreement, but I'll just list off the opponents. At Bengals, Seahawks,
Loss.
at Jets,
Loss.
at 49ers,
Loss.
Dolphins at home,
Loss.
Texans,
Loss.
Jaguars in London.
Hey, in London,
Anything could happen.
anything can happen. So that's one.
Okay, Jets, that's at home. In New England.
Loss.
Okay, at Tennessee.
All right, so 2.
Okay, at Chicago.
Loss.
Rams.
Probably a loss.
At Dolphins.
Loss.
Colts.
Is Anthony Richardson playing?
We don't know. That's week 13.
All right, so that's number 3.
Okay, bye week. At Cardinals. Jeff's going to say that's an L.
Did they win the bye week?
At Bills. And then Chargers, Bills. So 2 of their last 3 is the Bills. How many? You still got 2 that you're like, yeah, I feel decent about?
I have 3 fingers up at this point.
Yeah, but two, I would imagine that, you're like, okay, I can see them winning this. The third one, I think, like we said, it's kind of on the fringe. You know
And
what I mean?
okay, so you said that they were playing the Bills 2 times.
2 out of the last 3 weeks.
So I'm going to give them one of those.
Okay.
Because at either that point in the season, my opinion, is one of two things is going to happen. The Bills are either secured into the playoffs, and they're going to be resting their starters in preparation for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe New England sneaks out a win against Buffalo's backups.
Mm-hmm.
Or something has gone terribly wrong for the Bills this season, which we can get more into later because sneak peek.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And things have gone severely downhill there, and that's a game that the Bills are checked out of in Week 17.
Could be, yeah.
But still, best case scenario, that puts us at 4.
I gave them 3 wins. I was like, at Tennessee, I think Chicago, if Caleb struggles, I was like, okay, I could see maybe New England, but Chicago's got so much talent. And then, who was the other one? I think if Anthony Richardson is playing, because I'm a Flacco guy, maybe they could get the Colts. But everybody else, I'm like, I don't really see it. So anyway, all right, I got 3 wins. What do you got?
Yeah, I got 1, maybe 2.
All right.
I got anywhere from 0 to 4 at best.
Yeah, especially the trade with Judon.
Yeah, it got even weaker.
Yeah, the only expectation that you have is this young defense that you have for.
Yeah.
And here's the weird thing. I don't want to spend too much time on the Patriots because they're the first team that we're talking about, and they're probably going to be the worst team in the NFL this year. They spent a lot of money on re-signing their own guys
That didn't even make that big of an impact.
Yeah. They put a lot of money into their own people that weren't winning them games.
I think that me and Jeff, obviously we talk about this stuff, and I think the only guy on their team that we're like, yeah, we really like the guy is Christian Gonzalez, the corner they took last year.
Yeah, well, and he was hurt last year.
Yeah. But when he played, he was pretty good.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you saw some type of benefit this preseason with him, but nothing that you're like.
But that's it. Other than that, I don't really like anybody on that roster. I guess Ramondre Stevenson's is fine back, but he's not anything special.
running backs just don't turn the dial for me.
Yeah. Unless, if you get it like a Derrick Henry, you can be like, okay, we can build our offense around you. But
I mean, even if you take a guy like Derrick Henry and put him on the Patriots,
you're not winning a Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah. There's no aspirations beyond the aspect of the offense. The defense carries this team.
Yeah.
Right. So that might be the 1 or 2 wins where the defense actually, comes together. Other than that, there's nothing on the offense that we all agree that wide receiver, tight end, anything that
Their formula to winning
maybe
games
Stevenson,
is a
maybe
couple
Stevenson,
defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, they need it. Yeah.
Maybe Stevenson gets like 4 rushing touchdowns. You know what I mean? One game. Yeah.
Well, we can all dream.
Drake May might check down people to death. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't even think. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't even think Drake May is going to play until like halfway through the year.
I agree.
I think they're rolling with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Week 3.
That's your prediction. Week 3.
Week 4. Drake May starts.
All right.
If they start 0-3, you're probably right.
I think 0-2.
I think they play the
Jacoby
Niners.
gets
I think
that.
They play the Niners week 4.
I don't know that you want to feed
it's a
Drake
tough-
May
yeah.
to the Niners.
Yeah.
Jacoby gets that phantom injury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, he's really banged up.
That's the Tyrod Taylor thing. We injected him accidentally, or we fucked it up.
Yeah, we put a needle into his lung. Not quite sure what happened. All right, Herbert, you're playing.
Hey, you ready?
Yeah. All right. Who you got next?
So I'll let you guys take a guess at who has the next worst odds.
I was going to say Denver.
Carolina.
Oh, yeah, Carolina. I forgot about that.
Them or Minnesota?
So you guys are actually both right. Tied at 5.5 wins as their over-under is Carolina and Denver.
Okay, who do you want to take first?
We'll start with Denver because
Okay.
they are further down technically on this list.
Ooh, wow.
Denver at 5.5.
Okay, once again, this all starts with the schedule, but let's just get into it. Bo Nix, obviously he took him in his fancy draft. What a psycho.
Our producer.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna just break out this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
even if everything that Sean Payton wants to happen happens, what's the best case scenario? That Bo Nix is just the ultimate distributor, ultimate point guard at quarterback, and what? Who do they even have a defense? Patrick Surtain and who else?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How old is Bo Nix?
He says he's
25,
25,
26.
but I think he's 32.
I'm leaning more towards the
24.
32.
Yeah.
Maybe 24.
Because I feel like I was watching Bo Nix in college 10 years ago.
You were.
You were.
Here's a hot, not so hot take. I don't think Sean Payton's got it anymore.
Okay, so you think he just took the job for the money, and he just he's.
I think that New Orleans team with Drew Brees and all the talent that they had around him made Sean Payton who he is. I don't know that Sean Payton made anybody who they are. I think his team made him who he is.
So maybe the credit should more go to Mickey Loomis.
Yeah. Well, and then, I mean, if you want to get really deep into the Saints, for the past half decade, have been a cap disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm not as high on Sean Payton. I mean, you took the job and knowing that you were handcuffed to Russell Wilson, and then you go and ditch Russell Wilson after he had an okay year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest, coming into the last couple of weeks of the season, they had a chance at the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then you completely destroyed that. Benched him so that you didn't have to pay him. And now you're going to roll with your options are what? Stidham?
I know the fact that Jarrett Stidham is
Bo
competing
Nix.
for your starting quarterback position, like legitimately competing, that's a problem.
Well, like we talked about last year, what the Commandos, Sam Howell.
He was on
They're
there the whole
tanking.
time. He was like, they're tanking. I was like, no, they wouldn't do that, Jeff. And it was like, they were.
Well, I don't think it's the exact necessarily same scenario situation, but I will admit, at least at this point, once again, I mean, definitively, how many years did we see the Saints in their run with Sean Payton as?
I mean, legitimate shot at like possibly making the Super Bowl. It was like from 2006 because they made the NFC Championship game in 06. 06 to like 2019, I think. 2018.
Was that the year they lost to the Rams?
Sorry, 2018 was the year they lost to the Rams in the NFC Championship game. So 12 years, 13 years season.
What's the one consistency with those teams that he has gone through throughout the years that, stagnant, the number one guy, that's our guy. Everybody else changed, though.
Yeah, but he always had Drew Brees.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sean Payton finds his guy. Maybe he finds his guy. Maybe Bo Nix is that guy.
I think this is the worst team in football.
I wouldn't say that necessarily because obviously, we talk about the Patriots. But I will say that, because of this plan, that if it does not fold out the way Sean Payton wants, we can immediately, Urban Meyer, so many other coaches that we can talk about. I mean, even Nick Saban with the Miami Dolphins. I mean, we can be like, this is a fucking disaster. But this could be, once again, like Caleb brought up, Russell Wilson was decent, right, last year?
Yeah, he was decent.
I mean,
he was game manager decent.
We act like as if like it was like fucking, Miss Cleopatra, and she saw the future. You know what I'm saying with the
Miss
Broncos.
Cleo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett couldn't fucking find a quarterback
He's terrible.
as if it like crawled up his fucking ass or up his nose, whatever. Nathaniel Hackett couldn't figure it out. So the fact that Sean Payton right now got rid of Russell Wilson, we all agree that Russell Wilson's like, oh fuck, he had a pretty decent year, right?
Yeah,
that's why we talk about the Steelers being something with the Steelers.
We'll get there.
The fact that now it's all like, once again, put all the intangibles that Sean Payton wants with his team. Maybe he does have it. Maybe he does.
I just don't see any.
Who do you give credit more, Sean Payton or Harbaugh?
Which Harbaugh are we talking
yeah.
about?
You know what Harbaugh I'm talking about in the same division.
Chargers?
We can get to John here in a little bit.
But Jim is the one of the Chargers, right? Jim is.
Jim.
Yeah.
My bad, Jim.
Yeah, you're all good. Who
we want a dog.
are you talking about just for their success in their careers? Or you're saying who deserves
overall?
more? Overall, Sean Payton. I'd have to give it to him because of more long-term success in that field.
Yeah.
College football is different though. It's like college football. He basically just has to be a great recruiter and then like just basically instill toughness. in the
He
guys.
has
So
to
it's-
instill toughness
Yeah, he
into
does.
young adults.
But I'd probably take Sean Payton from a schematic standpoint because I
Yeah.
don't think Jim Harbaugh does really anything with schematics.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys think the Broncos are going to do worse than what Jim Harbaugh?
Not because I don't think Sean Payton can't coach, and that's an interesting take by you. I'm not saying
guys,
you're wrong.
I just heard,
could be.
at least at some point, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Broncos have the worst
I
roster.
said that because I think their roster's terrible.
So you think everybody else is going to just dominate the Broncos in that division?
I think the Broncos are going to go the distance this year.
Oh my god, what is that?
Well,
every team goes the distance in the sense of they play their 17 games.
Like they just get through the season.
No, I'm saying.
Well, here, kind of to go with what you're saying here. So, obviously, playing in the AFC West, the Broncos are going to have to play the Raiders twice, the Chargers twice, the Chiefs twice. They're for sure losing to the Chiefs twice. I feel confident in saying that.
Although we did lose to him once last year. But
Yeah, well,
I know.
once every 15 years it happens.
We can write these things off, but yeah. at the
Yeah,
end-
I mean, like, we're putting it into pencil here. I think the Chargers beat them twice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And
and
that-
the Chargers just abruptly.
I do. I think they're a better team.
And when we get to the Chargers, I don't think that they're a great team. We can get to that, but I think that their roster and their quarterback is better than what the Broncos are going
That's
to
the
put out there.
quarterback and
I
head
agree.
coach. I understand that, but roster doesn't make sense to me.
I think the Chargers have more talent on their
Who's he
roster.
throwing it to?
Lad McConkey, Jesse's guy.
Yeah, old lad.
No, I agree.
That's your proof, right?
Lad
there.
McConkey and Joshua
Just
Palmer, I
like-
agree, are not great receivers to throw to, but I have way more faith in Justin Herbert delivering it to tight end,
Whoever.
backup guy, whatever.
Whoever.
Yeah, over.
Yeah.
Bo Nix, once again, another preseason thing. People saw him in preseason and said, "Oh, he looks really good." I mean, I get it. Yes, he didn't look bad in preseason. You'd rather that, but
So, Jeff, are you taking the over or the under at 4.5?
for the
Or
Broncos.
5.5? My bad,
Ooh,
5.5.
For the
So,
Broncos.
you think they can win 6 games? Really?
I'm for sure over on this. Bo Nix is going to carry my entire fantasy.
Okay, so when he
That is
says-
a fantasy.
he carries the entire fantasy. Yeah, 6 wins is not.
That's not happening.
The fantasy is different.
See, I brought this up. This is what I'm here for. Here's the schedule: at Seattle, Pittsburgh, at Tampa, at Jets, Raiders. Okay, they can beat the Raiders.
I understand
Yeah.
what you're doing right now. The only thing is, I don't want to go through obviously.
Yeah, everybody.
The Broncos schedule and then the Raiders schedule. That's the only other team that's really like.
Can I just say notable teams they play on their schedule? At
Denver?
Baltimore. This is Denver's schedule. At Baltimore, at Chiefs, Atlanta, Browns, at Chargers, at Bengals, Chiefs again. And I already mentioned Pittsburgh, Tampa, Jets, at Seattle.
Pretty tough.
Where are these wins coming from? That's my question. We always
pretty tough.
do that
Pretty
where we
tough.
look at the teams and go, oh, they got better, they got worse based on roster, but
I think you just listed all the wins.
stop it.
I'm taking the under simply for the
5.5,
fact-
right?
Yeah. I'm taking the under simply for the fact of
I'll take the over.
Thank you. Thank you.
simply because of the quarterback position.
I trust.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I trust Sean Payton over what's his name, the linebacker Pierce.
Oh no, I'll give you. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not even a question. But I'm with you though. That's like, what's Bo Nix's ceiling? It's like, okay, maybe he's a cool distributor, but like this roster is going to need a quarterback to make like special plays from time to time, and I don't know if Bo Nix can do that.
I saw Gardner Minshew in the playoffs last year. so
No, he
that's-
didn't make the playoffs. He got close. You're almost there. He was
Okay.
9-8. They played the Texans that
Okay.
final week, and that was almost like a mini. playoff.
Gardner Minshew, Joe Flacco, whatever, the same thing.
Bro,
This and
whoa,
that.
that's my guy, Joe Flacco.
I've seen these teams in the playoffs with lesser means of a quarterback, and yeah, that's where I'm like,
That's what I'm saying. I think Bo Nix is less than even those guys.
I agree.
All right, let's move.
he's
Let's
the
move
worst
on.
one. Okay, yeah,
Carolina, 5.5.
down. I'm going with
Yeah,
that.
we can skip this one's quick.
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
Under.
And,
even what's his name, Demetrius Johnson.
Oh, that they got from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I love that as fantasy value. Whoever drafted him.
more help for their receivers.
But in the same sense, yeah, there is no chance they could.
if you want to talk about quarterback and coach combo, that might be
The
one
worst.
of the worst in the league, if not the
Exactly.
worst.
like Dave Canales maybe has a future as a coach. Where like maybe he,
but
could
not
take-
tied to Bryce Young.
I don't think so.
No.
Because they're like Bryce Young gained some weight. I'm like, is he taller? No. Okay. So
All right. Next up on the list.
What were you saying?
Hold on. Did we get everybody's over under for all three teams so far? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, who are you missing?
Patriots was under.
We're all under on the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Broncos, he was over.
I
We
was
were
under.
under.
I'm over as well.
Okay.
And then I was under on.
And we're all under on the Panthers.
All under on the Panthers.
Yeah, I'll probably say under on the
Okay.
Patriots.
What do you got next?
Tennessee, 6.5.
Under.
I like.
Yeah, I think 6.5 is a good number for them. I don't think that division is incredibly strong.
I think I had them at 4 wins when I checked their schedule.
But it comes back to that quarterback and coach combo, and them getting rid of Vrabel really hurts.
Callahan, because this is Brian Callahan, Bill's
Yeah.
son, total wild card. We don't know. We have no idea.
And I'm just not putting any stock into Will Levis at this point.
I think, and me and him talked about it, I think he's got talent where you can clearly see that, where you're like, okay, there's something there. But consistently, can he do it with these pieces around him? I don't know.
Now, what I will say that bodes in their favor to a certain extent. Now, no team has ever won the offseason and then won the Super Bowl. Like, that just doesn't happen where they're the team that spent all of the most money and then goes out and wins, other than the Rams when they said, fuck these picks and went on to win the Super Bowl. But Tennessee did spend a lot of money and put a lot of resources into that team. They brought in L'Jarius Sneed, Calvin Ridley. I'm missing more that they brought in.
Bernard Pollard to replace Derrick Henry, which obviously it's a downgrade, but yeah, you get it. You
mean Tony?
Did I say? Oh, I said Bernard Pollard. Yeah, Tony Pollard. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, they did put a lot of resources in this team, but it still comes back to this is a quarterback and coach league, and I don't know that I'm trusting Callahan and Levis over the other quarterback and coach combos in that division.
Yeah, can't do it. Titans. What about you?
I'll go under on 6.5.
Okay, Jeff, you didn't really get a chance to talk about the Titans much.
No, just same thing.
Okay.
Under. It's rebuilding.
Yeah.
You're just rebuilding right now.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Jeff's favorite team to talk about, the Washington Commodes.
Ooh.
You should start
The
this
Redskins.
because you have the most to talk about.
6.5.
Daniels is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh, I thought you were just going to leave it at that. Like, he's going to win. Win what? Everything.
They're going the distance.
He gets overrated, if not talked about as much because
Because we have Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams wasn't in this draft.
Look at the weapons
He's
with the Commanders.
They have
Brian Robinson
Now-
Jr.
now they-
Austin Eckler.
Wait,
Terry McLaurin.
We don't think they have better weapons than the Bears, right?
I'm not necessarily saying
No.
that, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
as an offensive scheme, what you did with Sam Howell with the passing yards last year, at least you got something going for you.
I hate Sam Howell.
But last year with all the Bears quarterbacks, there was nothing to, like I said, I believe in, Caleb Williams and being one of those guys in the future. I'm not saying he is that guy right now. I love competition. I love quarterback, comparison, competition, so on and so forth. So I want Williams. And obviously, to me, I thought the number one quarterback in the draft was Daniels. So I think personally, with the Cowboys deficiency, the Eagles on kind of like we got Saquon, but
Do you like Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator?
It makes sense, doesn't it? His first year with
I
Murray?
guess his style of coaching, I guess, yes.
His first year with Murray.
But
I mean, he's that guy that came from that college organization that developed quarterbacks.
To me, this is one of the hardest teams to predict because to me, they're just like, it's the ultimate wild card. He could have like an RG3 rookie year where it's like he goes off and we're like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. Or he could have a year where we're just like, he's got a lot of work to do. It's just so hard with rookies.
At the over-under, like I said, I thought Daniels was the number one.
Yeah.
I thought he was over Caleb Williams, personally me. But so I have the over with the.
I gotta go under just because to me, I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. And the fact that Cowboys and Eagles are still in that they're always going to be in that division. But
And then you got who else?
Giants.
I mean, granted, maybe they beat up on the Giants, but once again, I mean, that's a sample size within what Washington can do.
I'm going to go with the under. Chris's logic makes a lot of sense. Of you probably are going to have 4 losses penciled in between Dallas and Philadelphia. I'm really torn on Jaden Daniels. I think the prospect and the tape shows some amazing stuff. And I don't disagree that I think that he was right up there with Caleb Williams, if not ahead of him. The only thing that worries me is his frame. If they're going to ask him to run the ball at all on a consistent basis, there's a huge injury risk with him there. And that's what worries me is if he goes down, that team is probably looking
Because who's
at
the backup? With Mariota?
Yeah, Marcus Mariota, who it's like, if you need him for like a game, he might come back to his old self.
Yeah, but if you're asking 5, 6,
he can't
7
really do it.
games,
his arm just not there.
you may be looking at
But
a
you're-
top 5 pick in the
But
NFL.
when we're talking about odds and wins, and blah, blah,
Well, yeah. But I wanted to throw this out there. They play the NFC East plays the AFC North this year, so they also have at Bengals on their schedule, Browns, at Ravens, and then Steelers. So that's 4 more that on paper, those teams have more. They just have more solid rosters. So
What was
Yeah.
it 5.5, 6.5?
6.5 was the number.
6.5.
I gotta
take
take-
I'll take solid 7 wins with
Okay.
Washington.
I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with the Washington Commanders.
They used to be the Redskins.
Oh, they changed their name?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Was it
'Cause-
racist?
Yeah, PC.
That's a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
That's under. That's a sign
This
of
is the
weakness.
content.
that might be your best take you've come up with.
That's a sign of weakness now.
Yeah.
That's under.
You should like send that to the owner. But that's a sign we just take it back.
New owner though.
Yeah, it's
new
true.
owner. New owner. I told you this.
Jeff,
last year.
you would love that dude if he just was like, "Hey, we're gonna go back to
How-
what we are."
How close was I last year from putting the tinfoil hat on and saying, yeah, they're tanking and they're drafting?
You were spot
Jalen
on.
White.
You were spot on.
Yeah. Next on the list.
You're also right that Ron Rivera's not a good coach. You're right about that too.
Raiders.
I think we were all.
6.5.
I gotta go under.
I don't think we got to spend a lot of time on this.
That's the team that, Broncos, Raiders.
And it's unfortunate because they, with Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers, I really do think, and Max Crosby, they got some firepower and some really good players on that team.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what if halfway through the season they're like, look, we got a really good roster, but we need to, this ain't working. What if they trade for Kirk Cousins halfway through the year if Penix is itching and he's. No, I'm just saying there's guys that might be available that like maybe
Tom
you could.
Brady.
Devontae's the only one
He
that's.
doesn't he have a stake in the Raiders
He
or he's
does.
connected to that organization?
No, he's not.
I-
He's winning Super Bowls, not going there.
I don't think we got to spend a lot of time on this. I'm not sold on Antonio Pierce. Interim head coaches turning to head coaches hardly ever work out. Go back to Romeo Crennel, that did not work out for the Chiefs. And your starting quarterback is Gardner Minshew.
I think he should be their, like, all honesty, what he'd be best at, I think, is probably defensive coordinator. I don't think he is, like you said, there's things about being a head coach that I'm not sure he could do. But what do you think, Raiders?
Don't know much about the Raiders. Don't know much about football in general. I'm just going to go under because screw it.
Well, most of their players, they get arrested the night before the games, and then they have
Oh,
to show.
over then. Over.
Um,
If they're badasses, then.
Do you remember the stories about Janikowski? They used to just be like, pick him up from a police station the morning of the game.
Yep, drive him to
Yeah.
the stadium.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's next?
Giants 6.5.
Way under. Way under. Way under.
I'm going to go over.
Over
Just
6.5.
barely. Just barely. They get 7.
They barely beat the Patriots.
Because I do think that a lot of those bottom teams they play, because they do have like a easy schedule, I do think they're going to be better than the really bad teams. Where I think like because of Daboll and Malik Neighbors' addition
But who are
and their
the-
defense, they have a Jeff. They made a lot of defensive additions this year. I like their defensive line, so I'm going to give them 7 wins. So I'm going to go over.
I think that's ridiculous. They have them at 6.5. That's absolutely.
They did bring in Brian Burns,
Mm-hmm.
stud. They lost Saquon,
Yeah,
big part of
Yeah,
their
it is.
offense.
It is.
But do not believe in Brian Daboll for 1 second as a head coach.
Well, I hope 7 wins doesn't come across as like I believe that he's a great coach. So yeah,
No, I don't think that makes you a big fan of what they're doing out there. But Daboll is a head coach, not buying it. Good offensive coordinator.
yeah.
Josh Allen's best seasons that he's had were under Daboll. But until Drew Lock becomes a quarterback there, Daniel Jones is really just gonna drop the ball out there. So if Drew Lock was the opening day starter, I'd probably go over. But
So you have embraced Mizzou fandom. You're a part of us now, right?
no, not to that extent. I just think Drew Lock is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones, and for that reason, under.
So for the audience,
Dick jersey. That's what we need.
so for the audience, we'll take a 30-minute period to show the Mizzou and KU game.
Arrowhead 07, the turf game.
Yeah, the 07 game.
Caleb's like, you guys are living in the past.
People don't forget.
We don't have to go back there. I think this next team, the number is fairly high because
Who
of
is
some
it?
recent injuries. Minnesota, 7.5.
Under.
With the recent injuries or recent injury to JJ McCarthy, who I still don't know that they get to 8 wins with. They're definitely not getting to 8 wins with Darnold. I just don't like.
Darnold.
Yeah,
What
Sam
a
Darnold.
name.
Yeah.
Jeff, you and I were talking about this on the way up here. Darnold, like his ceiling, in my opinion, is league average. That's That's the best that you're going to get out of him. And I don't think that you're getting league average because that's his best. I don't think you're getting that for 17 games. You're gonna have games where he just really messes it up and loses the game for you.
I think he can feed on like the very worst teams in the league where he can like possibly be good. But aside from that, like I just don't think it. I think he's gonna see a lot of ghosts this year.
And that division is tough.
I don't
this
even.
year, too.
Yeah, like we talked about Geno Smith here. I don't even see him having that.
No, I
year.
don't. I don't either.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we all
Under.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna go over on the Vikings.
Don't get me wrong. If the Chiefs didn't exist as a team, the Vikings would be a cool team to root for because they got the skull chance. They've never won anything, so it's like it's not a bunch of bandwagoners or anything like that. They got a cool logo. It's a Viking. I mean,
They're too close to Canada, so no.
it's like I'm out.
No.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Some gravy on my biscuits.
New Orleans coming in at 7.5.
Nolans.
I've yet to take an over, and I'm not starting here.
Okay, I was like,
No faith in Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a bum. To steal the words out of Jeff's mouth, he's a bum.
he's a bum. Derek Carr is literally why that phrase I feel like exists. It's like he's the exact person you're talking about.
Dennis Allen, like
You can do the line again.
not sure how he's
He's
a
a
head coach.
bum. You okay? I thought you were like I'm not sure of him as a coach. I'm like you are sure he's not good.
I'm not sure how he's a head coach.
Oh yeah. Sean Payton was like I need someone to run this when I leave. I guess you're the guy.
Yeah, I could see them being top 5 pick next year.
Yeah, they could be. Yeah.
The 7.5 doesn't even make sense to me.
No.
I don't know who in Vegas sees something that we don't and is all like, yeah, Saints 7.5 sounds good. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think the most I gave him was 6 wins. That's the most I could see them having. Because obviously, I do think they still can beat up on the Panthers. That's 2 wins right there.
Well, we always talk about some team takes a seat back compared to other teams that take the step forward. And I just don't see anything with the Saints that I'm all like. Even 7 wins, I think, is a stretch with them. So
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm gonna say under as well.
Okay.
Isn't it weird and interesting though that like Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, Derek Carr,
Alvin Kamara, like
didn't they draft somebody too?
they got a tackle in the first round.
Well, yeah, they did have draft picks.
But
so.
then don't they have they have the tight end, Mr.
Who is
Utility
the tight end?
knife.
Who? Oh, Taysom Hill.
I mean,
Does he count as a tight end?
isn't it weird that this team does have like, oh shit, they got a little.
Pretty sure Jimmy Graham came back in his 39th year in
we,
the
they
league.
still have defensive talent.
We talk about the Titans, and it's all like the Saints are better than the Titans, right?
Yes, I do think they're.
But then
slightly
you
better.
almost question it because it's all like, wait, are they though? I don't
well,
know.
I give Derek Carr an edge over.
Who's
Will
on their
Levis.
defense?
But,
You know what I mean?
it's like, oh god. I
But
know.
you know what I mean?
They still have Cameron Jordan. They got him.
I
but-
think when we grew up in a period of Drew Brees and Sean Payton, we were just like, yeah, the Saints they're like the Titans. It's like, yeah, they're always going to be 9 and something above.
they're always going to finish like 8
I
wins.
feel
or
like
more.
this
I don't know.
is
You just made me really depressed thinking about having to be a fan of Will Levis or
This is
Derek Carr.
But no, I think this is the century of like, yeah, the Saints are going to go back to like, what's his name? Aaron Brooks.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Like it's like that, just straight. Like if we get 6 wins, we're going to be grateful. Because Aaron Brooks went out there and ran for 3 and then threw for 2. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
Probably partying down there.
I'm just thinking of that time. What wasn't it? Andy Dalton that was the quarterback, and he threw
a couple
that
years
in-
ago.
He threw that like pick 6, and he was just like,
Yeah,
I see that period with
and also let's just be clear, they don't even have Jameis to root for anymore. He's gone. We made an executive decision, as a team,
I've
that we're going to run that ball anyway.
I've been having dreams at night. Eating W's.
"We're gonna." Oh God, I can't go down that path again.
That one speech though with the Browns, I was all like, "Yo, I'm ready."
No, he's grown. He's not eating
I'm
W's
going out
anymore.
there. I'm going out there and suiting up. You know what I mean? Like that speech was phenomenal.
He was hyped just to play a preseason game.
Ooh.
Let's stay in the NFC South.
Okay.
Tampa Bay, 7.5. I have not taken an over yet, and I am starting with Tampa Bay. I think they get 8 wins. I am a Baker believer. Chris,
You are now. I was.
yeah. Hey, you didn't let me finish.
You are now.
Chris converted me. Baker showed a lot of growth last year in Tampa. I think that they've got some good running game with White down there. You bring back Godwin healthy. You bring back Evans. That defense has got some talent on it.
Mike Evans is our age. That's what blows my mind.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that team. I don't. For the record, I don't think they're a playoff team, but I think 8 wins is definitely there.
So last year, this is just something to make fun of. Have fun with it. Last year, I remember we were talking about the NFC South, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take Baker over Derek Carr," and you're like, "I will not." Have you changed your mind a year later?
110%.
Okay, all right.
I'm willing to admit when I was wrong.
Yeah, no. There's one person that won't admit when they shit themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, hold on. Can we do a quick timeout? Jesse, have you ever shit yourself?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, like as a child.
No, but
Thank you.
as a teenager to adult, have you ever like farted and you're like, oh crap?
Age limit.
Actually...
Age limit.
No, because like typically I just hit the restroom.
Okay, so we got 2 liars.
Yeah, so we're sitting at the table with 2 liars. All right.
So stereotypically, like when you're like, oh man, I have to poop. Either you're like in your mind, you're like, okay, because I'm an adult,
Yeah.
I can control. Like when I have to poop, like say like right now, I'm like, oh, I have the urge to poop. I don't just shit myself.
Yeah.
I think
I
you
make
both
sure-
are missing the point. Yes, I'm an adult. When I have to shit myself, I get up and I don't shit myself. But sometimes you're like, oh, I'm gonna fart, and then that fart turns into a little
There's
short.
more to it.
Here's the thing: is that I don't take that chance like ever, and also I eat like a fucking wild animal who's gotten into a garbage bin. So I have diarrhea for most of my life. I'm not taking a chance, friends.
I have had that. What's
see-
the Jack Black movie?
I don't know.
He's the wrestler.
Natural lead
yeah,
back.
yeah.
I've been having diarrhea for the past 2 weeks. He's making that stupid slop or whatever.
That's my secret, friend. Is every fart has a little bit of
Well,
shit,
hey,
so I just don't change
That story I can kind of believe because I'm like, all right, maybe he's just way more cautious than we are.
for sure.
Just doesn't take the chance.
I still don't believe either one of them.
I just don't. Maybe it's perspective, mentality of like a person because like when I'm going to work and I'm like cutting down a tree or I'm doing trail work, I'm laying, whatever it is, I'm cleaning the restroom. In my head, I'm all like, you know what would be really embarrassing is if I had to poop and I pooped my pants. You know what I mean, I guess maybe there's just different mentalities.
I just don't think about it.
These two that are like, hey, poop my pants.
There's been
the biggest
no.
deal.
There's
right?
been a few times in our lives where we trusted our abilities and it failed us. It happens.
Yeah, I think you're really misjudging the situation here. Chris and I and 99% of the human population
I don't think so.
doesn't go out of their
Don't
way
think so.
to
Do
shit
not think so
themselves.
on that one. We need it.
It's not like we're like, you know what I want to do today? I want to shit my pants.
No, but the fact that like usually when you have to fart, you have to apply a little bit of.
Yes, and we're saying that there's more to it than just the fart. There was more there, so that's the problem.
So not only are you 2 liars,
So
you
you're
apparently
terrible at
have the
judging.
world's tightest assholes.
You're terrible at judging things. That's all I have to say.
Bro,
right?
I again eat like it's out of a dumpster, and then when I'm eating fine food, it's always spicy as fuck. So like
Okay, let's talk about Tampa Bay. All right, let's move on.
football.
Okay, I'm going over. I'm high.
They're
on,
the weirdos. We're
Yeah.
I'm high on Tampa Bay again. I have them at 11 wins this year. I'm really high on them.
So you got to make it in the playoffs.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
You got them doing that?
No, I said 8 wins.
They're the Buccaneers. Jesse.
Yeah, the bucket. I'm gonna root for them. If you have Pirates, Vikings, anything, I'm gonna go over
Okay,
it
so
because I
it's
want that team to fucking
All right.
win.
You said 7.5.
Yeah.
The only thing that helps them is because of that division. Because we just talked about the Saints and the Panthers. That's
That could be 4 wins.
That's
right there.
4 wins. That's half of their wins that they need.
That's why I took the over.
And that's where I'm all like, yeah, I'm still taking the over.
And do we think they got worse or got better? I think with draft picks, I think they got better. I don't think they lost anybody that was all that
I
valuable.
think they got worse because the
Sorry,
expectations
yeah.
of last year, I think, were over. And then
Are these the dudes that fire the cannons when they
Mhm,
score?
mhm.
Yeah, I want these dudes to win every fucking game they play.
Even the Chiefs,
yes.
get them out.
Leave
So you're under. What do you think they win this year?
6, 7.
Dang, you're not a Baker believer at all, huh? You think last year was a fluke?
There's a reason why the Cleveland got rid of him.
He's got 2 playoff wins with 2 different franchises. That's a fluke.
I think as a steady quarterback in the NFL, it's like Alex Smith or something. You know what I mean? It's all like, okay, Kirk
Alex Smith
Cousins,
went to the playoffs.
a lot of other guys. Super Bowl guy? No.
No, I'm not saying Super Bowl guy, but
So that doesn't mean anything to me in a division. And in a team that I already thought was washed and already traded away guys that were valuable to them, that were seniors and veterans. You have you have Mike Evans, you have
Who do
Baker
they have as a
Mayfield.
head coach?
Exactly.
uh,
Who else
Todd
is on
Bowles.
that team?
Todd
Is
Bowles.
Bull still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else is on that team? They revamped their offensive line in the draft.
Who?
What do you mean?
You can
The Duke guy that we were talking about. They got him as their center.
You think
Once
again? I don't
They
think
got Tristan Wirfs. They're
Yeah,
one of
Tristan
the best
Wirfs, yeah,
tackles in
yeah.
the whole entire league.
Yeah.
You
it's
asked.
just Baker and Mike Evans.
And Tristan
Chris
Wirfs,
Godwin.
Chris Godwin.
Kate Otten is an up and coming tight
Tristan
end.
Wirth is gonna. First of all, who is he?
They took, by the way,
He's literally one of the best tackles in the entire
Oh,
league.
so he's catching passes and touchdowns.
Chris Godwin.
they also drafted
Mike Evans.
They also drafted Jalen McMillan, which was one of the Washington Husky receivers last year. They got him as the slot guy, which he's perfect
This is what
for.
I'm saying. You're talking about Mike Evans, this Chris Godwin that was hurt for the most of the part for the past 2 years. He hasn't been healthy. And then some Washington tight end. They're
They're
making the
receiver. He's a
playoffs.
slot receiver. They made the
making the
playoffs last
playoffs?
year and won a playoff game. They beat the Eagles.
Yeah, but once again, we just talked about it. The Saints, that division, and certain teams that didn't live up to expectations. We're talking about the Panthers and the Saints being either mediocre or the same borderline. So you just think that the Buccaneers just got that much better?
They did get better. They got really good draft picks.
I
don't
think they got
lost
lucky
anybody.
last year, like the Giants did with Daniel Jones.
All right, let's go up
Yeah.
north.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just me.
Seattle.
My bad.
7.5.
I'm under. It's not that I think they're a bad team. I get that they've made improvements, but I looked at their schedule and I was like, I don't know where the wins are coming from, at least consistently. So
The division as well.
I got
think the
six-
division got completely.
I think 6 or 7 wins, I think, is what I gave them. So
I'm going to take the under 2. I think Gino's run of being that guy
comes to an end.
comes to an end. You've got a new head coach, first-time head coach, in Mike McDaniels. Or Mike McDonald.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know they're too similar.
Just not buying that. Yeah, I'm going to take the under.
We're all in agreement. Seahawks. What do you think?
Seahawks. Go under.
Okay.
We're going to stay out west.
They were what, 8 wins last year?
No, actually,
9, I think. I
we're
think they were 9 and 8.
going to stay in that same division. Arizona.
I was gonna say we didn't do Arizona yet,
7.5.
Under.
but you love Kyler Murray.
I really do. I think he's a spectacular and he's a versatile quarterback. But I just, with that, once again, we're talking about, this is the maximum of what the Patriots could do. This is the maximum. If the Cardinals win over 7 games, then I will be.
They had at least
Flabbergasted.
in the first round they got 2 draft picks that should be good. Marvin Harrison and they got
And they were competitive last year.
What's his name? Darius Robinson, the Mizzou guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
They were good last year too. Whenever Kyler Murray,
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
super
they,
competitive.
Once he came back, yeah, they
upset
were-
teams, this
yeah.
and that. I mean, I just over 7.5 wins. I'm just very.
I got the under. I think I had them at 5 wins. But they're like what you talked about.
But once again,
they're
it's
competitive. Like they'll fight you hard.
They were in a
Punch.
different division.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the division, that's the main reason that I'm going to take the under. But also, my take on Washington and Jaden Daniels and my fear of him being able to stay healthy for 17 games is why I'm also going to take the under with the Cardinals. Is I just don't know that Kyler Murray can stay healthy for 17 games.
Well, and like you said, even if he does, it's like, yeah, they could have some firepower on offense, but it's like you're still running against the Niners twice, the Rams twice, Seattle. They could split with that, or they could get swept by Seattle.
Yeah. I'm going to take the under there.
That's probably the only team, though. I think that might bite us in the ass. At least me personally.
Chargers.
Ooh, this will be a fun one.
8.5.
No.
Jeff, some people have them going to the AFC Championship game, and I'm not joking.
I think 8 wins is it has to be maximum. But once again, it's the same thing with.
Vegas really did a good job with these numbers of where they're at, I think.
I
He's
agree.
throwing to who?
Lad
Johnston?
McConkey and Joshua Palmer.
Yeah, and Quentin Johnston.
Yeah.
No,
who
under.
they said even though me and him loved him before the draft, apparently Quentin Johnston's looked bad in camp.
No, he's been garbage.
Yeah.
I tried to tell you guys when he was
You
coming
did,
out.
you did say that.
They're just like when you drafted Sky Moore and Trey Lance.
By the way, I'd just like to say, you said FanDuel. I'm using the same thing. FanDuel gives me like what the numbers are and all this shit. Numbers have Chargers going over.
I know. Trust me, it is. It's immaculate the fact that people think because of Jim.
Yeah, I know. I think they get better because of Jim.
I don't think.
But not that I'm
better from last year.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But I think you're spot on. 8 wins. I think that's what I got him at 8 and 9.
There's too much expectation for him
Yeah.
as a head coach to just boom, we're in the playoffs.
Yeah, because you still need like the positional players. I know everyone's like receivers in his offense don't matter. They have to matter
Yes.
a little bit.
That's why the Bears and all these other teams did. My bad. Yeah,
You're good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Justin Herbert's a fine quarterback. I'm not quite as high as others are on him.
I'm still high on him.
I'm not, but I think he's a fine quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. Is he elite? No, but when you start looking at who he's going to be using as weapons, if your best option on that team is Lad McConkey or Joshua Palmer, like
Who's their tight end?
Lad.
Gerald Everett.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Or no, did he go to Chicago? I don't remember. Anyway.
And then your running backs are the Ravens.
Two guys that are basically, aren't they both coming off injuries from the Ravens?
Yeah, and
last year?
they were both outcast by the Ravens.
Yeah,
and Dobbins and Gus Edwards.
They're both guys that you're like, they're just another guy. They're not like special.
Yeah, they're Jags.
Yeah.
I think halfbacks are a little bit. You can use those Jags more than wide receivers, obviously. But the only thing that makes sense with Jim and the Chargers is he runs a system that's purely based on like college aspect, and they're like, hey, I don't give a fuck, like Tim Tebow.
But do you think there's a possibility that Jim, first couple games of the league or whatever, there's an adjustment process where he's oh crap, like the NFL's changed in the last 10 years since I've been in it.
I'm thinking game 2, maybe 3.
Have you guys seen that video where he's doing a press conference and he's like, I woke up at about 2:30 a.m. and I thought to myself, it's not just another day. It's 2 day. And 2 day, I picked the Chargers to go under.
Okay, all right, we're in agreement with that.
This is Sparta.
Just kicked him. What do you got?
They got my boy Lad. I'm gonna go over.
Wow, that's all it takes, I guess.
He's not far off because of that division too.
You think
if they overpower the Broncos and the Raiders, it's all like okay because of their strength of schedule.
Yeah. What do we see from Lad McConkey as far as like ceiling? Is he the next Julian Edelman as far as like what people think he might be able
Cooper
to become?
Kupp? I mean, yeah, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp would be insane if he
Because he's
became
about the
that.
same height, Amy. 6'1",
Is he as
6'2".
athletic as Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, if he can
Fantasy wise, I'm not gonna
Why are
lie.
you guys comparing them to white guys?
My boy Lad.
because he's
Hey, whoa.
Just asking.
Who you got next?
Let's see. Oh, this is a fun one. Jacksonville, 8.5.
I'm going to start this off, fellas. I'm high on Jacksonville this year. You were high on them last year, and ever since Houston came along, everyone's like, Jacksonville, who's that? They're just done with them. I'm high on them. What'd you say, 8.5?
8.5.
Yeah, over. Give me the over.
This has happened a couple of times. The numbers on Jacksonville are both negative.
I think it's your betting odds. That's
Yeah,
different than
betting
the
odds.
win-loss record.
It's a favorite.
So is it
That's
minus
right.
115?
Yeah, minus 115. And
Yeah, it
minus
means that they
105.
have good odds to
Yeah.
go over that. Vegas thinks that they will.
Which
go
means
over
that if you
their
bet
odds.
on it, you're not going to get your exact money back. You're going to get less than what you bet.
Yeah.
Well, then how is it good odds that they're both over and under?
No, it's
Wait,
like
it's a pick'em then.
Yeah. Well, so you have odds that if you bet on the over, there's certain odds, and if you bet on the under, there's certain odds.
so. Basically, what they're saying at minus 115 is if you bet $100 either way,
It's a pick'em, yeah.
the most that you can win on $100 is $15.
Okay.
So yeah, Jacksonville. I forgot. Yeah.
That is weird odds though. They have them both at
Yeah,
like
it's-
that.
Over is negative 115.
Yeah.
Under is negative 105. So like you're just not making money if you bet on the Jaguars.
And what is it?
I have the
9.5?
Jaguars winning that division.
8.5.
Spicy.
Yeah.
8.5?
You think I'm crazy? Jags winning that division? You think I'm crazy? Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
No, isn't that crazy that
Oh, you think it's low?
105 to 115. Those odds in Vegas don't make sense to me whatsoever.
I think 9 wins. I think they should
You
be
got to
able to
give
get
some
that.
plus to something.
When
Yeah.
Trevor was healthy last year, they almost got to 9 wins just like before.
Well, they
he got
started
hurt.
off what? Until
8
they
and
lost
3.
Yeah,
they were the
until-
1 seed.
until they lost to us.
Almost all of them are like that.
Yeah.
That's so
Okay.
weird.
What do you guys say with Jags? What do you say?
I'll let you go, Jeff.
Who is Jags in the same division as?
Texans, Colts, and Titans.
I think the Colts beat the Jaguars.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll take the under.
You think they're going to be a underachieving team, miss the playoffs?
Too much. Was it camera time? I guess it's just target on their back compared to other teams in that division. I really like the Colts. I really like Richardson. I think Richardson can come out there and just fire some shit off and be all like,
Yeah, he
I'm
could
that
fire
guy.
that training room up too. He could be in there for
Like
a
I
long
said,
time.
that's Josh Allen.
Isn't Colts
That
one of the best
OR
teams?
is calling his name.
He's
Middle of the pack.
He's better
Are they
than Josh
really?
Allen, so that's why I'm like really. And the Colts, once again, the Colts are that team that are underrated, good defense, solid, young core.
Yeah, they just
Michael
need
Pittman Jr. I mean Jonathan
they just need
Taylor.
a former Super Bowl MVP to just take over instead of a guy that is super athletic but gets hurt 3 out of 4 games. But-
We'll see.
So you took the under?
I took the over on the Colts.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Jags.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Oh, I took the under on the Jags. Yeah.
Taking the over on the Jags. Not quite sure they win the division,
That's fair. That's fair.
but I do think that they definitely get to 9, probably even 10 wins.
I'm curious why the switch went from last year. Everyone was like, yeah, and don't get me wrong, I get Houston being a factor now, but why do people think that Jacksonville went from last year they were super promising to now this year they're like they suck? That's
So
what I don't get.
I think when we look at that 8-3 stretch that they had that you guys were talking about, quarterback play was great. The rest of the year, Trevor Lawrence was
Yeah, but he was
not-
dinged up. He was compromised.
Well, and that's what we talked about. They kept throwing him in there as if like, hey, even though this guy's hurt, we still have the best chance with him. We talked about that in week 7, I think,
Yeah.
8 against the Atlanta
Yeah.
Falcons when they were like, fuck it, we're on the cusp of.
Yeah.
We think we need this win. Well, ended up, I think the Colts lost. So that win that they needed, they thought they needed because they were ahead of that division, didn't even matter.
Now they have a good backup. They got Mac Jones. Problem solved.
Head coach and quarterback. head coach and quarterback. We talked about it earlier, right?
Yeah.
I love
Out of that division,
Yeah, I
who do
love-
you trust more out of head coach and quarterback?
Coach. I think they have the best coach in that division.
I think Doug Peterson is the best coach in that division.
So then there you go.
And
I mean, the only fringe is CJ, but do you trust?
I think Trevor
D'Amico
Lawrence and
Ryans
CJ are a
more
lot-
than Doug
I think
Peterson?
Trevor Lawrence and CJ are a lot closer than people.
I still probably give the edge to CJ, but
The projection makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It's like how we talk about with the NBA and other teams. The projection makes sense with Jackson.
Yeah. All right. Who we got next?
I'm
But I
going to
don't-
say it,
but I
and
don't
then I'm going to
believe
use
that.
the restroom while you guys discuss it. Pittsburgh, 8.5.
Ooh.
Wait. We.
What?
Oh, okay.
We're doing just like we're
Just
going
going
bottom
down.
to
I
top.
thought it was division.
No,
Okay.
yeah. You want to start with this?
8.5.
Yeah.
Steelers.
I go under.
I thought we were in agreement on this.
I know. Here of late, it's really
You
turned,
flipped?
It's really turned my mind.
Is it like the injury to Wilson? Is that what?
It's everything.
Uh,
Turmoil, media attention. I don't think Tomlin's that guy. He doesn't want the pressure. He's on the hot seat. You got rid of Johnson
see, I don't think he was all that great, but you liked him, so I know.
as a 1-2 combo. Who's your second receiver?
I think they're gonna have to do Roman Wilson as their second receiver.
That's why they're trading.
Or
so-
no, they got Van Jefferson from the Rams, but
and
even
that-
he's like.
and that's why they're looking so hard for Brandon. And I think just it's not enough.
To me, I'm not too worried about the receivers because Pickens can be your number one, and then everybody else
That's
can just
fine.
be whatever. I just think it's everything else on the roster that
Yes.
I love: the offensive line and then the defense. That's what I love.
Even the halfback situation. I love Najee,
Yeah.
and I love what's his name,
Warren, yeah, as
Yeah.
a 1-2 punch, I think
Love
that
it.
works. If Najee's your only guy and you have nobody else, then he hasn't proven to.
And I think the run game actually, like draft value wise or whatever, season fantasy, I think Najee actually pushes over the hump of like what we're, our projections,
Yeah.
and what we perceive him as. But there's not enough. They need Brandon. They need a guy. That's why I think they're hankering so bad to trade or get somebody like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's nothing else at receiver or tight end. Who's the tight end?
Firemuth.
I'm with you on that. I think Fryermuth's just a guy. I don't think he's anything
Yeah,
special.
he's literally a blocking,
Yeah.
decently couple catches here and there in highlights where he runs somebody over because they're a cornerback
Yeah.
and you're a tight end.
Well, I'm super high on Pittsburgh.
That's for you. My bad.
I'm super high on Pittsburgh.
No.
I'm super high on Pittsburgh this year. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to go like way over.
I mean, I got under.
Roster wise, I think they have one of the best underrated rosters in the NFL.
So under over?
Yeah.
I'm going over.
It's 8.5, right?
You're
Yeah.
with me.
Okay.
Now, I just want to be clear on a few things as I pick the over. This is not an endorsement of Russell Wilson.
Okay.
It's spicy.
I think that if Russell Wilson is average, this team wins 9-10 games comfortably. And that is solely because of two factors. One, that defense is pretty damn good.
Where's the hole on that defense?
And two, Mike Tomlin is the second best coach in the NFL behind Andy Reid. Dude's never had a losing season.
I would have said that maybe like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but
yeah. He's
right
not. He's not my top two, but he's in the discussion. That's fine. Okay.
now. It's not a bad discussion at all.
Yeah.
You can argue.
But
both.
do you like their offensive line additions? They drafted
Yeah.
Troy Fatanu from Washington as like to play guard or tackle, and then they got Zach Frazier from West Virginia to be their new center. Like that's what one of their biggest problems have been the last couple of years. They haven't been able to run the ball well, establish the run because their offensive line hasn't been very good. Well, you just upgraded big time, and then like I said, the defense it only got better. You added Patrick Queen, and I know they got a guy from NC State in the draft, Peyton Wilson.
Peyton Wilson.
Stud. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you.
When you look at that defense, though,
What's wrong with it?
yards of scrimmage, points allowed, like I said, certain games on the road, home differential. They're just like the Browns.
TJ Watt,
They're just
Hayward,
they're
Joey
ju-
Porter Jr.
they're just like the
Minka
Browns.
Fitzpatrick,
Patrick Queen.
Patrick Queen.
they're just like the Browns. I'm telling you guys. They're not the Niners.
Okay.
They're not the Chiefs. They're not the Ravens. They are just like the
I just
Browns.
think that defense and Mike Tomlin gets some of the Niners.
Well,
wins.
they got 10 wins last year with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph.
That's true. Let's just be clear here. Mike Tomlin found a way to win with a guy named Duck Hodges.
Yeah. I got a question for Jeff on the Steelers. What if, because I know you're higher on this guy than I am, what if Justin Fields takes over like week 5? Would you
Then I
change your
changed
team?
my number to under.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I'm with you, where I think it goes under because he struggles. But I was wondering if you thought.
I think it's vice versa. I think because
So you're higher on them if Justin Fields takes over?
No.
No?
I think
Oh,
it's
thought-
same.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Because
We
of Arthur
are-
Smith.
I like him as an offensive coordinator. I think it's a great hire.
I think him and Russell don't mesh, but
That run game
who's the
should
better?
that run game should get a lot better with him.
But who's the better quarterback? It's Russ for sure.
Russ, I think, is the better quarterback now, and definitely, I think Justin needs to sit and learn for a year or something. But yeah,
We're going to head back out west. Rams, 8.5. Over. Stafford has a heck of a bounce back year. He stays healthy. The weapons on that offense are nasty. If Cooper Kupp is going to be your number 2 receiver behind Puka Nacua,
it should be healthier this year.
you're going to run Kyron Williams out there. Strong offensive line, getting better on the defensive side of the ball. You get to play in a tough division, but you've got some opportunities to win games against the Seahawks and the Cardinals.
You play in a controlled environment with that offense.
Yeah, I'm taking the over.
I'm taking the over as well. The Rams are like the team I'm super high on, and I was high on them last year, and I went ahead of my skis where I was like, yeah, they'll bounce back. I thought they were going to make it way farther than they did, but they did give the Lions a really tough fight in that opening playoff game.
Yeah.
So I got the. What'd you say it was?
8.5.
That to me, that's my easiest bet. Where I'm way over.
Yeah, I feel good about at
Head
least
coach,
10, 11
quarterback,
wins.
and then now the roster is starting to finally come back together. That defense, I love what they did in the draft. I know they lost Aaron Donald, but to kind of re-solidify that.
And that's the one reason why I'm taking the under.
I get it.
That's the number one reason. That's it.
Because who they drafted D-tackle to replace?
Braden Fisk,
They
the
drafted-
D-tackle from
Yeah.
Florida State. Jeff, that's a big boy.
They drafted
got.
2. Him and his buddy.
Jared Verse, the defensive
Him and
end.
his
they got.
buddy too.
But
Yeah.
So don't forget that.
That Fisk kid, a lot of people thought he was going to be like the steal of the.
If I'm
But
like-
Verse was
Yeah,
one of the top defensive ends in the draft.
he was projected to be a top 10 pick early on.
If I'm playing Madden, that's probably my number one team that I'm all like, yo, I got an aging quarterback. I got rookie fucking defense guys. I got young talent at receivers. I got a young halfback. I'm like, yo, this is a fucking perfect team to just draft and fucking build into a fucking.
But you're still taking the under?
Yeah.
If you get Stafford time, Stafford's a top 5 quarterback if he has time.
How old is he?
36. He's still got some years left.
I'll,
done.
I'll take the over.
You think
Jesse,
he's done?
Yeah.
what do you think about the Rams?
I know nothing about them.
Their logo looks like a news channel insignia.
They left St. Louis, so like they're bums. They're bums.
I'll trust them on this one. I'll go.
Okay.
You're trusting Jeff a lot, and not saying that's a strong strategy.
Yeah, it's not good.
Jeff, you're like, who won fantasy last year?
All right. I feel like this one's a pretty easy one. Cleveland, 8.5.
Under for me. Just barely. I got him at 8 wins. How can you trust Deshaun Watson? How?
Exactly.
No,
I'm taking the
Browns.
under strictly because of Deshaun Watson.
Solid roster. You're trusted.
You know who I'm trusting?
The masseuse? What? I don't know. Oh, Jameis. I like this. Okay, I do like this. If Deshaun sucks it up or he gets injured again, Jameis comes in, and me and Jeff won't. We both want Jameis to win.
What was that speech he gave? He was like, "Tomorrow is a whatever," and he's like, "Today's the present." He's
Exactly.
like, but the past is the this and that. And I'm
The
like,
only
no.
way he plays is if Watson gets hurt, which I'm not saying is out of the question
Yeah.
because he got hurt
Yeah,
last year. But there's no way that they're benching.
No,
Watson.
I agree with you. Deshaun Watson's a better player, but
I don't know that he's better for the record. I'm just saying there's no way that they're benching the guy that they gave $200 whatever million
Caleb.
guaranteed.
But wouldn't
to.
that be an awesome, cool story if Jameis finally gets his chance?
Yeah, that would be an awesome story. But it's all fictional.
Or is it?
That team.
That's what the NFL would want you to think.
All right, so you're part of the script writers.
Oh, I thought Chris had tinfoil. I thought we were all wearing
If
tinfoil
that
hats.
team had an average quarterback, that team is dangerous.
They do.
That's kind of what I think.
They
Deshaun's
had
gonna
an
be this
average
year,
quarterback
just
last year.
Deshaun Watson was not
No,
average.
not last year, but I think that's what he can be this year.
Deshaun Watson was below
Yeah,
average.
But they
last
had
year.
an average quarterback last year.
With Joe Flacco, and that's why they went to the playoffs.
If anything, they had a below almost average quarterback last year.
Joe Flacco was as average as they come until
When
the playoffs.
but when he came in down that stretch, he was playing, I think, better than average last year. When
He
came
was, and that's why they were
Yeah.
able to win games.
Yeah.
But that defense is damn good.
Yeah,
They
I don't know, practically fuck all about football, but the Browns is one of the teams I actually recognize, and I know their defense is one of the best in the
that's why you drafted them.
Yeah, exactly.
That defense is great, and Jerry Jeudy might resurrect his career there.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
Amari Cooper was an absolute
Yes.
stud there last year, and Njoku had a great year.
Yeah, that's the one that I think now they're like, we really got a focal point on this offense. We can use Njoku like that.
And when Chubb comes back, if he's healthy, they're going to
Jerome Ford looked good in his place because
Yeah.
that offensive line.
and
is
that
so good.
offensive line is
Yeah.
That's what I was
phenomenal.
about to say. When you have a top 5
Yeah.
offensive line, you can pretty much.
It's just the quarterback. That's
I
what
could
it comes
probably
down
run
to.
behind that offensive
You
line.
can get away with a lot of things.
Yeah, it just comes down to the quarterback. Do you think Deshaun wants to do it? And I guess we're all under.
I don't know. I said over.
Oh, you did. What do you think their win total is? What do you think?
9-10 wins.
Okay.
Yeah. Same
I'm
as
gonna
last
say
year.
over on Browns as well. I picked their defense for a reason.
Okay.
Indianapolis, 8.5. Jeff already said over earlier. Any other thoughts you want to add to your
No,
over?
because you got Indy, Jacksonville, Texans, and the Jaguars, right? Correct?
Titans.
Yeah, Titans.
And the Titans. My bad. I at this point, was it 8.5?
Mm-hmm. They got to get to 9 wins.
If it was
9 wins.
If
and
it
they
was
have
9.5, I would love
Not
to take
9
the
wins,
under.
and they have the Texans, Jags in their division, and then you guys can keep talking.
Give me 9.
I'm just curious. I want to bring up their schedule just to see.
Give me 9 with them. They're that weird team. They're the Titans.
They are weird because
they're
they do
the
have,
Titans right
They
now.
do have a lot of roster talent, and I like it. To me, it's like, do you trust Anthony Richardson? We don't know. We don't know what he is. He looked like he has talent. We know that.
If he can stay healthy for a season, yeah, that team's easily a.
That's a
yeah.
big if, though.
I know. Yeah.
Because he was hurt in college, too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I like my chances. But he's like 19, 20 years old. It
No,
ain't- it
Jeff,
ain't like- it
all
ain't-
the upside in the world,
Yeah.
yes, but it's like we're talking about for this season. Can you bank on him being available 4 games and not finishing 3 of them last year? I've never seen that.
Yeah, we've seen that.
I'm over.
You're over?
Yeah.
For the simple fact that I took the over on the Jaguars, and when we get to the Texans, I feel pretty confident in their wins as well. I just don't feel like there's going to be 3 9 to 10, 11 win teams in that division. I'm going to take the under strictly for that.
And you said it was 8.5 was the number?
Yeah.
Okay, here's notable teams that they play on their schedule. Texans, obviously, because it's in their division. At Packers. Chicago. Steelers at home. At Jacksonville. Dolphins at home. At Texans again.
That's not bad.
Bills.
That's a lot of games.
At Jets. Lions.
That's a lot of games.
And then obviously you got the Jags again. To me, Lions, I don't think so. I mean, I just don't. At Jets, pretty high on the Jets this year. Buffalo, you still got Josh Allen you got to deal with. Pittsburgh. I'm just saying, I don't. And at Green Bay, that's not going to be an easy game either. So, yeah, I don't know. If Anthony Richardson does what you say he is, he'll be the next superstar.
I'm not saying he's Jordan Love.
No,
I'm just saying
but
that,
if he does what this season, what you think he could do, he will become like one of the next big faces of the league.
They are that type of team that he throws 2 picks, he has 1 touchdown.
And he does some Cam Newton shit.
And at the very end.
End
Exactly. Because he's like 220, 30 fucking something pounds at 6'4", 6'5".
I reserve the right to change my over-under if he gets hurt and Flacco comes in. I'll
he's a faster Josh Allen.
I don't disagree with that, but he's also a more injury-prone Josh Allen. And for that reason, I'm taking the under.
I don't like that. That's like saying, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers is more injury-prone. It's all like, well, yeah, because he was
but if you're asking me to bet...
I get your analytics and statistics about it because, well, the 1 year he started, he gets hurt.
We also got hurt in college, too.
Okay, but
there just hasn't been a big enough sample size of him being able to stay healthy.
If you're asking me to bet on a win-loss total, a big part of a team's winning ability is their starting quarterback. And if I can't guarantee that a quarterback is going to be healthy for the entire season, I can't bet that they're going to win X amount of games.
You can say that about anybody, though.
Yeah, but
he just has more of the proof of,
he's got the injury track.
Small sample size.
Yeah,
it's a small sample size.
What do you think? Colts?
No.
Over? Okay.
Chicago, 8.5.
You better start this off because I don't know where you're going with this. Nick Wright has him making the Super Bowl.
I don't know about
I'm not
that.
going that crazy.
I'm not going that crazy, but yeah, in that division, I think they take advantage, and I think we're going to see some things out of Caleb Williams that were kind of like,
I hope so.
Oh shit,
I hope so.
There's a reason why he was number 1.
I normally don't care about preseason, but that screen pass that he jumped up to Swiss, I was like, okay.
There's just
that's
too many weapons that they uploaded to him.
Which means if they don't do well this year, like let's say he doesn't look all that great, isn't that like, dude, you had everything around you?
The one team that obviously you can solidify them over in that division is obviously probably like what, Minnesota?
They have more talent than the Vikings. I don't think anyone's questioning that. My thing, Jeff, if Caleb sucks, then it's like, okay, if you're being outplayed by Sam Darnold, like that's not.
I'm not completely bought in on Green Bay. I think this might be that one time out of all those years with Aaron Rodgers, that maybe Chicago gets that one win. I'm not saying at Lambeau, but maybe in Chicago in Soldier Field. But
okay.
Once again, I think this might be that 1 year because I'm not set on like having 5 number 1 wide receivers for Green Bay, and then you get rid of Aaron Jones, for Josh Jacob. And then the only other team in that division that probably like we all definitively probably, I'm assuming that, who is it?
Detroit.
Yeah. To me, I'm super high on Detroit, but
he came around because last year he wasn't, and we were like, dude,
it's going to happen.
Yeah. And so that's the only other team in that division that I'm like.
So you're taking the over/under?
Yeah, over.
Over?
Yeah.
Chris?
You said the number was 8.5.
8.5.
I got to go under, and it's not because it's because with rookie quarterbacks, I don't know what you are. So it's like until I actually really get a sense of seeing it, I can't definitively say over because on paper I think they're the 3rd best team in the division on paper.
Yeah.
So that doesn't bode well for them. And then obviously they play other people, and they actually don't have as easy a schedule as people would think because they even won they won 8 games last year, 7 wins last year.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were a bottom, like the Panthers or something. So yeah, I got to go under.
I'm going to take the over.
Okay.
I'm taking the over because they have invested so much into that offense, and this is an offensive-heavy league. They invested a lot into defense last year.
Yeah, so their defense showed up at the end of the year where you're like, oh, that's what it's going to look like.
But when you're rolling out your wide receivers, and not even talking about other skill positions, but when you're rolling out a top 3
they have the best. They have the
DJ
best top
Moore, Keenan Allen, and then Rome Odunze.
All those guys could be a
Rome
number.
Odunze.
All those guys could be a number one receiver on the team.
Yes, when you're rolling those out as your top 3 receivers, then you add in Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
And
I can't believe they got Swift. I get the Eagles being like, we got to get rid of you, but I just can't believe they managed to pull that off along with the other guys that they got.
Offensive line is getting better.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, a lot of it depends on Caleb Williams. And I'm a little bit more of a believer on Caleb Williams than probably a lot of people are. We share names, so I've kind of got to. But I think that he's going to come in. He's going to win Rookie of the Year, and that team is going to win a lot of games. 9-10 wins, I don't think is out of the question. I think that's going to be the best division in football at the end of the year.
So I do want to get to this at the end, but I just want to ask you guys real quick. You guys have them making the playoffs as like a wild card team?
The Bears.
Yeah.
I can't for right now say
Because I was like, there's only so many slots, and that's the thing. Is the NFC, for the longest time we've said the AFC's better, and it still is, but the NFC I think has gotten a lot deeper overnight than I think people.
No, because I think that 9 wins could still have you looking on the outside.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
All right. Bears, what do you think?
Over for sure.
Okay.
We
I
are
got
moving
Rome Odunze
on.
and
We're going to
Cole
stay in the same division. Green Bay at 9.5.
I'll start this. I'll go over. I don't think it was a fluke what we saw at the end. Now, I don't think the people that are saying Jordan Love is like automatically like a top 5 or 10 quarterback. I'm not there yet, but I think I had them at 11 wins. So
I'm taking the over. I think Green Bay is primed for a really good season. Sneaky hot take here: Green Bay wins that division and knocks off Detroit.
ooh,
Jordan Love finishes top 3 in MVP voting.
ooh, interesting.
all opposite.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to be like that, but
No.
all opposite. You got rid of Aaron Jones, which is, like I said, they started off the season tremendously bad.
He destroyed the Cowboys in that playoff game. He was.
I understand that, but starting off the season, they started off very poorly.
No, I'm saying that's a good thing. Like for your
Until they
argument
got
that, like,
onto a hot streak and to get them into the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you do that every single year as a franchise in Oregon? I don't think so. Unless you think Jordan Love is that guy. I don't think Jordan Love's that guy. Once again, there's too many. Matt LaFleur is, everybody's asking him, who's your number 1 wide receiver? He doesn't even know because, nobody knows on that team.
Sure, nobody knows.
Christian Watson.
I think. Well, Christian Watson is who I would have said at the beginning of last year, but then he didn't even play those. Jalen Reed. Jalen Reed, I think, is who they're.
There's just
way
way,
saying, but
there's way too many. And then obviously, like I said, Aaron Jones to Josh Jacobs, I think that doesn't make sense whatsoever in a plan and a scheme because anytime Aaron Jones was healthy and actually starting for that team, they won games. When he wasn't, there's a big portion of games that they lost without him. Me personally, I think, do they have their quarterback? Yeah. Do they have their wide receiver? Yeah. Do they have their team? Yeah. Pieces wise, and I think expectations, I get it. It all makes sense. But to me, I think they just have a down year. I don't know what it is.
How much of a downgrade do you think Josh Jacobs is from Aaron Jones?
Huge.
Okay.
Huge. Because once again, we all talked about that. Was it holdout with Josh Jacobs with the Raiders because he wanted more money because he led the league in rushing yards. The last time I checked, the first 2, 3, 4 seasons of your career, you couldn't stay healthy, so they couldn't keep you on a roster, or they couldn't keep you on the field. The fact that you think he's just going to start catching balls out of the backfield just like Aaron Jones
no,
does?
that's definitely a thing that you have for your argument is he's not as good.
These are the weird things in the NFL that, like, I get on paper. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, these guys look really good, but do they actually fit the scheme and what the quarterback actually likes? Aaron Jones is, he's Austin Eckler 2.0, if not even better.
And that's a big upgrade for the Vikings.
And
They got him.
once again, it's another topic, but vice versa with another team that I mentioned. To me, it just doesn't fit your scheme.
Well,
you added LeBron to the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
With Anthony Davis. Does it fit your scheme? Does it mean you win championships every season? No.
You know what else?
Did you actually get better?
Yeah. Do you know what else is interesting for your argument that people forget that when you look back at the Packers last year, they were 9-8 in the regular season. So it's not.
And that's
like
what I said. The first part of their season, we were all like, Love, done, blah blah blah. Until the game, I think he played us.
A year ago, we were
When
like.
Andy said, "Hey, I forgot about him."
A year ago, we were like the Packers GM. They might get fired because of like this. Jordan Love's got to be that guy this year, and he turned out.
It was 9 wins, correct?
Yeah, that's what they won last year in the regular season. And
So-
they won the playoff game.
That's what I'm saying. they lucked out with 9 wins last year, and now we all of a sudden just think like, oh yeah, 9
I
wins
saw
is
the
easy.
I saw the talent, and so I'm like, okay, and I see that they got the receiver. Now what? Jordan Love, he showed it off.
And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, but once again, we all just talked about it. Everybody got better in the NFC. Everybody got more competitive. I'm like, you eked out your maximum limit of what you could accomplish last year with 9 wins, and you think
I think they'll be better because I think he's more confident going into this year. Now he's got a lot.
Yeah,
of stuff.
that's what I was going to say. I think confidence plays a big part in that. When you go on a run like that and you have a big playoff win like that against the team, you build some confidence, and I feel like that team is primed to win a lot of games. Let's go back down south. Houston.
It's that time. Yeah,
9.5.
I was waiting for Houston. Under.
Paul Wall, baby. So anyway,
Most overhyped team that I've
What
seen
is
in
it?
recent memory.
9.5.
oh, it has to be over. I'm not saying they're 13, 14, what everybody else thinks that they're world beaters, but
Yeah.
9.5, that seems very like a low.
Because you got people like me that are betting the under.
I don't know. I get it, the rookie sophomore slump, but there's just too many weapons that they've added to where I'm all like, and that defense doesn't get better. I'm just like, what?
That defense is stacked.
Under D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryan showed that he is a very good head coach last year.
Yep, but now they play a first place schedule. That's the problem.
But then you added more. Like I don't know. I think Tank Dell, if he stays healthy, he
Oh
goes
my
the
gosh,
fuck
this
off.
stuff.
He goes the fuck off. We already saw the
He got
controversy.
shot.
We already saw the
Someone went the fuck off on him.
We still got Nico, right?
You know,
Nico Collins is there, and Nico Collins was great last year.
Dalton
Stephon
Schultz.
Diggs, Dalton Schultz.
They literally have like half of the
Do we-
Cowboys fucking
Do we
roster.
do we
out there.
agree on who the number one receiver for the Texans is? Because to me, it's Nico Collins. It's not Stephon Diggs.
I don't think it's Stephon Diggs.
Step on.
So he agrees
Diggs.
with
And it's
Diggs.
definitely not
Okay.
Tank Dell.
Who's their number one receiver?
Nico
Nico
Collins.
Collins.
What?
Jeff, he outscored your boy Stephon Diggs or whatever. He outscored him in fantasy last year. He had more
Well,
points.
of course, in Tank Dell because Tank Dell was hurt.
I'm not talking about Tank Dell.
I don't give a
Stephon Diggs
shit.
versus
That Stephon Diggs not my boy. I told you. I drafted Tank
Okay.
Dell. That's my boy.
Stephon Diggs versus Nico Collins. Nico Collins.
I don't
had
give
more
a shit
points
about
last year.
that.
Okay.
I'm talking about Tank Dell and Nico.
Okay, I just want to run through some opponents that the Texans play real quick. They do play Chicago. They play Buffalo, at Green Bay, at the Jets, Lions, at Cowboys, at Jacksonville, Dolphins, at Chiefs, Ravens. You know, just multiple teams that I think.
Cowboys, if they sign CeeDee Lamb, if they sign Michael Parsons, if somebody holds out, I mean, those 3 or 4 teams that you just mentioned, they're all questions. There's a lot of question marks under those.
I don't think the Lions, Chiefs, Ravens. I don't think are questions right there. I think
So that's only 3 losses.
the Jets. I think are better. But that's me.
if Arian stays healthy.
Yeah, no, there's questions, but okay. But yeah, I'm under. I got them at 8 wins. I think they're the underachieving team. Underachieving team.
He
this
said
year.
over.
Under 8 wins?
The number is what? 9.5%?
9.5.
I have them under. I have 8 wins. 8 and 9.
Who wins that division?
Jacksonville.
With how many wins?
Probably 10.
Yeah.
Okay. I had over. I had way over. I like I said, I'm not saying 12 or 13.
Because I think the
but
Colts.
8.5?
Because I think the Colts and Texans. I think they can trade wins. So it's like okay, they might swap. Jeff, I think they're underachieving. C.J. Stroud, he was good last year. Yes, he was. But people are already putting him. And I'm just being honest. People are acting like he's already like top 5. I'm like, slow the f down. We saw 1 year of him. He looked good. I actually think Jordan Love is slightly better than C.J. Stroud. I would, if you asked me to bet on one of them for the futures, I would bet on Jordan Love.
I like them both, and I'll still
I do
take
too.
Love.
It's also
Both of them mean nothing to me because it's just a small sample size.
Yeah.
it's also 9.5, not 8.5.
Yeah, 9.5. Jeff.
Okay, just making sure. I was about to say, there's no way they have. The
How
Texans
many
at-
wins did you give him this year?
I'd probably say 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys both said, you're not going crazy like some people. Where you're
Yeah,
giving
10
13
potentially.
wins.
I think their hierarchy is 11.
Some people think that they're our number one rival now in the AFC. They're like,
Nah,
that's
10 or 11.
when they do that, guess what happens? That doesn't ever work.
We're
Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh,
over under.
Over.
Yeah.
Over.
Texans, yeah.
Let's stay in the dirty South and go to Atlanta.
That's your
The
team.
dirty bird.
That's your team.
9.5.
Yeah, over. There's too many. You like that?
Oh, that's
Yes, Kirk Cousins.
over.
He hasn't won the Super Bowl. Yep. Okay.
Like I said, I mean, Bijan is probably, I think, me personally, because of my expectations of Bijan, I think he's like the number 2 or number 3 halfback in the NFL. That's just me. You got a quarterback finally. Look,
Two of them.
They're
Two
making
of them.
trades for pass rushers. I mean, this team is just. If we're talking about the Jets last year, this team is just set up for almost a Super Bowl run.
So what's your win total? I know you said over, but
11 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 11, 12 wins. That division is weak. They're going to feast on that division. Kirk Cousins coming in there is going to steady that offense, give them the maturity that they need. They added weapons on top of pretty good weapons that they already had. They just weren't able to use them with the quarterback play that they had. Drake London, I think, is going to take a big step forward. Maybe they'll finally learn how to use
Kyle Pitts actually has a chance to catch the passes by a real quarterback this year.
I wanted to draft Kyle so bad because of that.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't
I
justify
know,
it.
right?
It's like he's got us too many times. Yeah.
They added another receiver. Who was it?
They got Rondale Moore from the Cardinals for Desmond Ridder. Rondale Moore is out for the season, just injured himself. He's done.
Yeah,
it's
but
still a steal that
they
they
signed
got
somebody
for
else.
Desmond Ridder.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney, I think, is going to be a solid number 2, number 3 receiver for them. And all they've done is just add to that defense this year. Just this week alone, they added Judon and Justin Simmons.
Yeah, which Justin Simmons was sitting out there for anyone to pick up, and finally someone picked him. I think it's great.
Well, I thought like last year, like we were all like, "Oh man, that secondary is not too bad."
I liked him.
What's his
They
name?
got him from the Bengals.
Safety.
It's not AJ Terrell. It's
not Simmons, not Sims, not.
what's that guy's name?
I know he like was picking off balls left and right. He was,
But we talked about it. We were like, "Yo, that guy's fucking balling."
yeah, Jesse Bates.
Jesse Bates.
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone's like that secondary sucks. I was like, I don't know, because when I watched him, I was like, that guy's getting
That was
so-
literally-
And
the
now
only
you've got
guy.
Simmons and
Yeah.
Bates running deep
Yeah.
together. That's
exactly. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go. On paper, this team.
I got. We just say number ones.
9.5.
I got over. I got 11. I got 11 wins.
I mean,
Yeah, well-
they look like they're going to the Super Bowl at this point.
I don't have them that high, but I do.
I'm just saying projection wise on paper. I'm all like, yeah.
But Jeff, what you've talked about for a couple years, where you're like, yeah, Atlanta's got a lot of talent. A lot of people have said that, but they finally have a quarterback that's like, I know how to be a professional quarterback. I can do my job.
Well, guess what? They got a quarterback.
They do, exactly. If Kirk Cousins gets hurt, Michael Penix possibly.
And somehow they're about the same age.
Penix is like, I remember playing against you at Michigan State. That would be crazy. Falcons, what do you think? You like that?
Yeah.
You
Over.
like
You
that?
like that? You like that?
Let's stay on the same coast and go up north. New York Jets, 9.5.
I'll start.
Chris,
Yeah, I'll start with this. Over. Very high on them. I honestly, and I'm being serious, when I look at their schedule, on paper, I think they should be favored in every game that they play. On paper, doesn't mean that's gonna happen, but I mean
9.5, right?
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's an easy over.
Have at it, Jeff.
No.
Now, don't get me wrong. If Rodgers gets hurt, this all changes.
I'm
You're-
taking the under.
Okay.
No faith.
I think 9 wins is spot on for them.
They got 7 wins with Zach Wilson.
Who is it? Something Boyle?
Yeah, Tim Boyle.
Yeah, and
Respect.
boil on your toe. I'm
They could have had Ed and Eddie out there. You know what I'm saying? They would have won
somehow
7 games.
the Jets always find a way to fuck it up.
They are the team that has had the longest stretch of not making the playoffs.
You know, Jeff, you and I were literally just talking about this. They traded for Hassan Reddick, and
he's
then
like, what
he's
about my new
like,
contract?
we're supposed to be playing in a couple weeks. Where's my new deal?
You're like, we didn't say that.
You know, Howie Roseman completely just
Swindled.
swindled that team into making that deal. They do nothing but make bad decisions. I can't trust them. Robert Saleh is got to be the bottom 5 worst coach in the entire NFL.
I think he's alone for the ride. I agree with you. I think they should replace him with somebody
And
else.
Nathaniel
but
Hackett is an absolute hack
I'm
job.
not even factoring them in. To me, it's Rodgers and that defense. That's what this factors in.
I'm sorry. I can't buy anything Jets. They are going to be a hot garbage express. Aaron Rodgers was great 5 years ago. I can't trust a 39-year-old guy who's going to run for vice president 3 months
He's actually
ago.
40 already.
All right,
Turns
40.
41 in December.
Who was going to run for vice president 4 months ago. Love Aaron Rodgers, one of my favorite athletes of all time. Absolutely love him when he's on Pat McAfee. I'm out on the Jets. They're a 5-win team.
Okay, that is a take. Okay, go ahead.
Just to let you know, I mean, as an organization, yeah, the trades and everything. I mean, I feel like I would make those trades. So
Yeah, I would
give the
too.
Jets credit.
Yeah.
I would definitely be all like, yeah, we're gonna re-sign you. Come on over. We'll trade for you, and then be all like, oh, you want more money? What? What do you? Come on, you're part of the organization. We're a team here.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about.
Did you like the Fashanu draft pick that they got him to reinforce the offensive line? Did you like that?
Yeah, love that.
Okay.
I just don't trust anything that they do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like Caleb said, I will admit it is one of the most disgraced organizations.
They are at this point. Yes.
Like I said, but I feel like I would be the owner of that organization because that's how I would run things. That's why I love them. That's why I love Aaron Rodgers. I love the fact that, first of all, last year, I think it was 14, 15, total touchdowns were thrown by a quarterback.
Yeah, I forgot that stat. He threw that out.
If Aaron Rodgers throws 18, I think they win 2 more games. So the fact that any quarterback can come in there and throw at least 18 to 19 touchdowns, I'm all like, yeah, this is a playoff team. So no matter what, like I said, how rundown of an organization, if I was the owner of that team, I still think they are still winning 9, 10, 11 games.
So you said their number is 9.5?
Yeah.
So you got over?
No, I got over. I still
Okay.
think they're winning 10 to 11 games.
Okay, so he's in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm way up here, and you're way down
I'm
here.
way down
Yeah.
there.
5 wins. That's
I don't think I ever give my opinion for the Giants either, but I don't trust New York at all. So I'm going to say
There you go.
they win
I mean, that is safe.
5.
I will admit that
Hey!
is, when it comes to football, it
That's
is pretty
true.
safe. That is pretty
That's
safe.
true.
I will admit, when Aaron Rodgers dressed up as
I just don't trust the state New York.
Nick Cage, Con Air.
yes,
I showed him that.
yes, when he dressed up
Yeah, so should you be rooting for him?
as so and so
I'm
from
sorry, I can't trust New York.
as so and so from Con Air, I was like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback in the world. All right.
I love Aaron. And I don't want my 5-win take to come off
Your
there.
problem is everything else.
Everything else.
It's hilarious because Aaron's probably listening. He's not listening to ESPN.
He's listening to this.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's listening to this. He's like, I'm going to prove Caleb Brown wrong.
He's like, I found a podcast that I really like. It's got 27 subscribers to it. I really like it.
That was a really good Aaron Rodgers
Oh, was it?
impression. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that sounded
that
just
was
like.
pretty spot on.
Like I said, Aaron would be that guy to be like to prove some 33-year-old fucking random dude from Missouri.
Who the fuck is Caleb Brown? Who the fuck is
Just
that?
take a shot podcast. Fuck those guys.
He looks you up. He's like, oh, you're running 20 miles.
Yeah. I'm gonna come tear your Achilles.
Oh, that would be bad.
Plus, I want to see Aaron versus Mahomes. So there you go.
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah. That's my prediction, by the way. AFC Championship game is.
I need
they
to
visit
I
us
need to
in
see him.
Arrowhead.
Come on.
Let's stay in the same division. Miami 9.5.
Under. I'm out on Tua. I'm out.
It's.
Go ahead.
I think
Dolphins.
it'd
Yeah.
be different. I think it'd be different if we had the turmoil with the Cowboys and all these other teams with contracts. They're all signed. They're all happy. They love each other. Oh, we're in Miami. What can you complain about in Miami? Nothing, because it's the greatest fucking weather. It's the greatest state. No, what is it? Was it state income taxes?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it all. Tyreek's got 10 kids. He's got another offense for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Over on the Miami Dolphins,
Oh.
I think that offense still fucking. That's all you did in the defense.
Until December comes.
You had nobody in the defense side, right?
Their defense got worse.
They were so drastic. I think. I mean, compared to last year in the playoffs and what they've signed, I mean, that's got to get better. It's got to get better.
Lost Christian Welcome.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong, but the sense that they were signing guys off the street. I think it was Hobo Joe that works at.
Oh,
Pretty
That's
sure,
true.
they had
Yeah.
Justin Houston playing out
Yeah,
there.
that's true.
That's
That's what I'm saying. They had Hobo Joe from Casey's at defensive
Okay,
end.
so
You know what I
you're
mean?
over.
I'm taking the over. They're going to have all 10 of their wins locked in before December because they will not win once December starts because when Tua goes to cold weather, they do not win. But that offense is so damn electric. I mean, you put Waddle and Hill out there with Mostert and
I'm surprised
A-Chain.
about this. I'm very surprised.
I am not a Tua believer, but I believe in Tua enough that they're going to win 10 games. They got 2 automatic wins on the board against New England.
That's true.
So they only got to find 8 more on their schedule. And I don't think that their defense got bad enough that they're going to lose games. They just outscore teams anyways. And I think that Mike McDaniels is an absolute football genius.
Well, we need to get you his little cutoff khaki pants.
I need a pair of them.
Yeah.
Dude's a genius. 10 wins.
Okay. I got him at 7 wins, so not a fan. All right.
Actually, you know what? 11 wins. They win the division.
Ooh, now that's
Bold
spicy.
take, Cot. Yeah.
That's spicy.
What do you got?
That's spicy.
I like Miami. Dolphins are cool. I don't know. I don't know anything about any of the fucking players. I'm basing all of my shit off of
Okay,
what I know
their
about
quarterback,
the state that
his
they're in.
nickname is Noodle Arm. So there you go.
Oh, new
So, that's always good.
12 wins.
Because I love noodles.
Yep. 12 wins.
All right, let's go to America's team, Dallas, 9.5.
Jeff, you picked him to go to the Super Bowl last year. What do you got?
Tell you what I got. Dak Prescott.
Steady Dak from Star Wars. Yeah, that's his nickname. Okay, if you're not gonna go, I'll go. I got over. I think the Cowboys are a stable organization. Mike McCarthy and Dak have been good for like 12 wins every year that Dak's been healthy. I'm not saying they're getting that again, but you said the number was what?
10.5?
Yeah, I'm going over
That's
because they
Or
beat,
9.5, my bad. 9.5.
yeah, I'm going over because they still get to play Washington and New York 4 times, and that's I'm gonna say almost half the battle, but like
That's at least 3 wins.
yeah. They're still on paper such a better football team than so many other teams.
I'm taking the over.
Okay.
I think 12 wins is probably about where they're at. The division helps them. The Cowboys always find a way in recent history to
They're like-
win.
They're like 16-1 the last 2 years at home.
Yeah, they find a way to win when nothing matters, and it's just the regular season. They will flop in the playoffs because that's what the Cowboys do. But regular season, they're going to win games, especially if CeeDee Lamb comes back. And
Yeah, because the good thing is he's only out because of a contract dispute, not
Yeah.
because of like an injury or something.
Yeah. I am a little bit worried about what they're going to do at running back,
Agree.
but that defense is still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And if Dak's in a contract year too. Contract year is undefeated. Players are going to play their best in a contract year.
And I know that people are flipping out because they lost Tyron Smith and a few other guys on the offensive line. They drafted Tyler Guyton, who was he's a pretty good mobile tackle that they got. And anyway, Dallas, I don't know what it is, but that other guy that they got, the kid they got from like Tulsa a few years back, that's now I think is Tyler Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that a lot of people are like, oh, red flag, don't draft him, whatever. I don't know who their offensive line coach is, but whoever it is knows how to coach him up because they basically turn every guy to be like, oh yeah, he's good, he can make a Pro Bowl. So I think they got it figured out. The offensive line, I think they'll be fine.
I'm gonna go under. I think this is finally the year.
This is the year they just fall off, the wheels fall off.
There's been too many years where it's just too good to be true, so on and so forth. Now, when everything's not falling in order, this has to be the year where, we talk about maybe necessarily, Jerry Jones stepping down. It has to take something like this.
He's like Emperor Palpatine. He won't give up power.
That's the only thing that sucks because, like I said, I mean, to see him running that organization is like, something's gonna happen before you got to get rid of him at some point. So
That sucks. I have a lot riding on Dallas.
So you're over?
Dak, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over Dak Prescott and the Cowboys defense, which, as far as I'm aware, is the best defense.
They're one of them.
Let's go up north to everybody's favorite Chiefs rival, the Bengals, 10.5.
I'm going over.
Who?
The Cincinnati
Cincinnati.
Bengals.
Yeah. Going over. If Joe Burrow stays healthy, I think it's because their schedule. They play a last place schedule because technically they were the last place team last year. They have an easy schedule. I like them. So you said the number was what?
10.5.
Yeah, I think they hit that. And they go over.
I think 10. I'm gonna go under.
I'm going over.
Who do you trust more in that division as far as quarterbacks go?
I trust Joe Burrow more than I do Lamar Jackson.
Because he has passed a 5th grade reading level, unlike Lamar.
Whoa! Why do you say that?
Yeah, we working on some plays right now.
Actually, I'm going to backtrack here.
Oh, you don't want to be associated with my take?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, two things here. The more I thought about the Bengals here, there's a lot of drama with that team right now. There's a lot of contract
T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yep, there's a lot of people wanting money there, and not just them. What's the guy on defense?
the defensive end.
The defensive end
was Sam Hubbard or Trey Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson was holding out because he wanted a new contract.
They just lost a starting tackle.
What's his
Mims? Mims looks good though.
Yeah, Mims. They're gonna.
But he's the one that's hurt.
No, is he? I thought it was somebody else.
No, Mims is hurt.
Oh, okay.
And then you're also relying on Orlando Brown, who I think is just a revolving door at left tackle and is just going to let people run straight to Joe Burrow. And this was also a big part in my take. Joe Burrow is trying to be the real Slim Shady, and I'm just not buying that. I'm out on the Bengals.
Okay.
I think 10 wins.
You know what? I just Google image search Bengal. They're just cats. I'm gonna go under.
I thought you liked
They're
cats.
just cats.
Yeah, they're just cats. They're too cute.
They're
It's
tigers,
They're
basically.
not strong enough. I'm looking at a lot of like kittens. This is
Jeff?
Okay. A Bengal tiger.
I already told
I
you
mean,
under.
are you
Oh.
afraid of this?
Jesse,
Chris?
if it was the size of an actual tiger, what?
Yes.
You took over.
Yes.
Jesse, you
Yeah.
taking the under on the Bengals?
I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of that.
Buffalo, 10.5. I would love to start with Buffalo.
So wait, we all took the under?
No, I took over on
Okay.
Cincinnati.
I would love to start with Buffalo. Under. Buffalo is going to be the biggest.
Milano's out again.
Buffalo is going to be the biggest disappointment in the NFL this year. They lost way too much this offseason, and if they think that they're going to rely on MVS to be any type of a weapon for that team, I've got a whole 2 seasons of proof that that's not going to work.
I heard he might not even make the final roster. He's
That-
not looking good in training camp.
Well, yeah, I
You're
hope
not surprised.
I'm not surprised. That defense is decimated. Von Miller is the biggest albatross of a contract in the entire
in
NFL.
recent memory. Like, I can't think of anyone that's been that. Because even Albert Hainsworth, he like had a problem with not trying, but he was still a healthy guy in that sense.
Yeah.
Vaughn, there's nothing left.
Milano's not there. Tre'Davious White is gone now.
Hoyer's gone.
Poyer's gone. Did they bring back Micah Hyde?
No, I don't think so.
No. So both of their starting safeties are gone. They're starting cornerbacks. So they have basically a whole new defensive backfield.
Yeah.
James Cook looks good.
That's true. I think their offense, I mean, yes, you was Diggs, but I know you're not like Keon Coleman, but I think their offense could be better.
Their weapons at wide receiver are mediocre at best. If Keon Coleman / who did they get? Curtis Samuel are going to be your number 1 and number 2 receivers. That's not great. Kincaid is going to be fine. I
think they have a real running game now with James Cook. I think they're leaning on that.
I think they're going to be the biggest disappointment in the NFL this year.
So what do you actually give them for wins?
6 to 7.
Oh my gosh.
What's the over under?
10.5.
I'm going to say 7.
I'm thinking 10 or 9.
So what do you think? Like Miami just like mollywops all these other teams because you're low on the Jets, you're low on the Patriots.
Well, yeah, they take advantage
low on
of the
Bills.
opportunity.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I get that, but I'm saying like you think the Dolphins are like head and shoulders better than all these other teams.
If the Bills weren't what they are right now with injuries and everything depleted, yeah, I think they're a little bit below the Bills. Me personally, I don't know about Caleb.
Well, and they're going to have to play a first place schedule. So
Yeah.
they're going to get Baltimore, they're going to get Kansas City, and they're going to get Houston.
So what's your number, or would you say?
I'm thinking 10, maybe 9 wins, so it's under for me.
Okay, their number's 10.5.
Yeah,
I think
that's
7
what
is
that's
the
what
number.
I think is just too high for the Bills.
Okay, I'm going over because Josh Allen is that kind of a freak where like he literally can just like will you to wins where you're like I don't know.
He
how
did that last year.
He can keep doing it because he's still young.
I think it's a worse.
Yeah, but
roster
he's
than-
got less weapons
Yeah.
to do it.
I disagree. I think we're just going to disagree about Keon Coleman. I agree he might struggle maybe early on, but I think he's a freak talent. And I do like Curtis Samuel as a 2 or 3 option. They have that Shakir guy. Their tight ends are solid. They have a better running game than they had in recent years. I just think Josh Allen makes that difference where he just, like I said, he will just will you to wins. And
Can I challenge you for just a second
Sure.
on their weapons?
Sure.
So let's say that you had head-to-head for this year, Stephon Diggs or Keon Coleman for 1 year, not their rest of their careers.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can give that to Diggs because Keon Coleman has.
So then let's go to number 2. You've got Gabe Davis, or now you've got
Gabe Davis is on Jacksonville.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
lost Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel.
Or Curtis.
I like Curtis Samuel more.
I think that they're
But they're
going to be in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
So it's from a wide receiver standpoint, I think they got worse, right?
Yeah, for this year, but like I said, I like the draft pick of Keon Coleman. For me, it's just Josh Allen. Like I said, Josh Allen can win you games by like 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, and it doesn't even have to be. We didn't know who Shakir was until last year,
That's
and he comes out of nowhere and like he looks good for them. So I honestly think he can get it done with just guys. That's I guess the point that I'm making is it almost doesn't matter.
I maybe my 6 or 7 was low. I think 7 or 8.
Okay, I don't have them winning the division. I have them making a wild card because I just think it's too hard to like just stop Josh Allen. There's too many teams he can beat up on that he's just going to be better than. Okay, Bills, what do you think? Okay,
Detroit 10.5.
aren't we all over on this?
I want to
Well,
say
you had them not winning the division. So.
that's the only team that I think that solidifies and is really the competition in that division. So I take the over.
I have the over, and I'm not saying this will happen because it never works out this way. When I looked on their schedule, I only thought there were like 2 teams where I'm like, yeah, I'd pick the other team to win. I think they should be favored in pretty much almost every game they play.
I'm going to take 10 wins. I'm going to take the under. I think there's a little bit of regression there. I love Jared Goff, love Dan Campbell. You and I, were on that wagon early last year, but I think there's going to be some regression with that team this year.
It is hard to duplicate what they did last year. I'll give you that.
So much of what they did was on emotion and momentum and excitement. And I think
Now they have real expectations.
Yes. And playing to those expectations, I think, is going to be the downfall to them. And 10 wins is not a bad season. I think Green Bay is just going to edge them out by a win or 2 for that division, and 10 wins is where they're at.
Do you like who they added with they got a draft? Terry and Arnold and Rakestraw, right?
Yeah. Love what they did there. I just think that it's so hard to sustain that year over year for any team that's not named the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think the thing you can poke a hole in their roster right now is kind of what I brought up when we were doing our fantasy draft. Jameson Williams as your number 2 receiver, that's a question mark.
Yeah.
Because they lost, I forgot, Reynolds, I think, was the guy that they had. He was a bigger
Yeah.
receiver. They lost him. I forgot who got him. But, yeah, so there's question marks there. But like I said, on paper, not saying this will happen, but I had them favored in 15 of their 17 games. Doesn't mean that's going to work out that way. But I just think they're super solid roster. And Jared Goff, obviously, when he plays as good as he did last year, it's hard to.
And now they're going to have a first place schedule too. So
Right, that's true. But I think they have the best offensive line in football, right? I don't think anyone
Roughly,
really,
if not top 3.
one of the best.
Top
Yeah.
3.
Jesse Lions.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna say like 10 wins exactly, just because I've got David Montgomery. He's cool.
Okay.
Baltimore 10.5.
Under.
I already knew that was coming.
I'm not a complete hater. I have them making the playoffs, but I have them right at 10 wins.
Chris doesn't even think that Lamar Jackson can read the playbook.
He can't.
If he can't, and he's already doing this good, I mean, that's
Imagine if he gets a real education when he can do it.
hooked on phonics.
I have them at I have them at 10 wins. Tougher schedule. Steelers should be better this year.
Be indestructible. All right. God damn.
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying, though?
The more you know.
But here's my problem with them. I think the Ravens are the 3rd best team in their division. That's the problem that I have with them.
So you think that Cincinnati and Pittsburgh
I have it as better than them. But yeah, 10-7. And that's the thing that sucks is I do think the Derrick Henry signing is a good one, but they did lost pieces on defense, lost their defensive coordinator, lost pieces on the offensive line.
What's the over-under?
10.5.
Yes.
Yeah, over.
That's I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I think 11, 12 wins is where they're going to end up. That similar to my theory with the Dolphins about how they win when nothing matters. They win throughout the regular season and they rack up wins, just like the Cowboys too. The Ravens seem to do that
They're
pretty
front
much every year. They find a way to win and win and win. And then when Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh get into the big games, they shit their pants. At least they're man enough to admit it, unlike some buddies. But ultimately, I think they win 11, 12 games this
Do
year.
you see them getting back to the AFC Championship game? Okay. Jeff, do you?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Ravens? Jesse? Like, because it's Edgar Allan Poe connection and you like him?
Well,
Quote the Raven nevermore.
that really has nothing to do with it. It's just I have memories of the Ravens back from high school.
Yeah, Ray Lewis. Got away with murder. He's my favorite player.
Whoa!
Well, allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah, exactly.
For anybody that's listening, our 7 subscribers.
Yeah. All right, what else? Who we got next?
We're down to just 3, fellas. Philadelphia, 10.5.
Can we just get over the Chiefs already?
Well, okay, let's
They're the over. All right,
Philly.
They're going undefeated. They're beating everybody,
Let's do-
and they're winning a fucking 3.
Let's do Philly first. I got them over, but just over. I have them as 11 wins.
Wait, how many?
Philly.
What is it? What's their odds?
10.5.
10?
10.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over.
I just don't think they're going to be what some people think they're going back to the Super Bowl because they're like, look at all they did. I'm like, they still have to address that they lost Jason Kelsey, who is a huge piece for them.
Yeah. No, I think over's fine. 11 wins. I don't.
I'm surprised it's that low at 10.5. I would think that they're always the sexy pick that people because they are loaded.
Yeah, but I
There's
think
only 2 teams at 11.5.
Right.
I feel like their downfall in the last portion of the year, because if you remember after that whole Nick Sirianni moment in Arrowhead where he was yelling at fans,
I hated him for that, and I still hate him.
they went on a horrible slide, and then
Karma.
Well, it's because they signed what's his name? Didn't they get rid of the defense coordinator and sign Matt Patricia?
they did bring in Patricia, yeah,
Yeah,
Thank God for his pencil.
That just fucking fell apart.
on a laminate sheet.
Yeah.
But
They had signed so many defensive guys to act like as if like, oh yeah. I mean, the way Patricia should have came in and just handled that defense with the talent and the roster, that team should have been back into the Super Bowl. But for some reason, that how it catastrophically
Baker got him.
I'm honestly surprised that their win total isn't lower after the way that they finished.
Yeah, I get the way they finished, but they added Saquon, which he's more talented than DeAndre Swift. I don't know if he's more productive because he gets injured.
I think their number is more put on who's leading that team. Sirianni is a joke.
I agree. I don't like him as a coach.
Look what happened to him after his coordinators left.
Well, people brought it up. It's like, so he doesn't call plays. He's not the offensive coordinator. He's obviously not the defensive coordinator. So he's the game manager in the way that a head coach can be. But he doesn't have the experience of the other guys, and he makes stupid decisions. It's like, so what are you doing? You just yell at people? You just have that smug look on your face?
they did start off what 7-0, 8-0.
They're like 10-1.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
No, but they had a catastrophic downfall.
And that's
But they did have a good draft. They got was it Quinion? Is that how you say it? Or Kenyon Mitchell? The corner from
Quinion.
Quinion Mitchell.
from Toledo.
Yeah, but they said he tested like amazing.
And they got Cooper DeJean.
Cooper Jean, who I think that's the steal that they got him. So they have 2 new guys in their defensive
Plus the
backfield.
rookies all from Georgia last year.
Those guys have all like, except for Davis, right? Or not Davis.
Yeah, Jordan Davis.
No, what's the guy they
And,
got?
Dean.
No. The guy they took
they
like
got in trouble, right?
yes,
Yes.
They took like 9th last year. Who was that?
Oh, Jordan Davis?
No, it's not Jordan Davis. He was the guy from before.
Alabama.
No, we're all talking about Georgia players, but Jordan Davis was the year before. We're talking about
The guy that got fucking in trouble.
I know.
Because he got the DUI and then he like ran out of the car and he said it was his buddy or something.
Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Jalen Carter.
So Jalen
Jalen.
Carter actually looked pretty good for them, but everybody else that they've taken from Georgia really hasn't done anything.
Yeah, Georgia North was not.
Yeah,
But once again, I mean, like, developing rookies. Like I said,
Yeah.
we all said it. I think I could have swore. At least I know I said it. Was it last year or the year before that? Hey, this team just got fucking phenomenally.
well, we
better.
thought that, and then
With
it
their
just didn't-
draft.
it just didn't work out that way.
You
But-
still have what AJ Brown. You still got.
oh yeah, their offense was
Devontae
still.
Smith.
Like you said, you just added Saquon fucking Barkley.
If he stays healthy,
Yeah, I mean,
Who's their backup though? It's still what's his name after DeAndre Swift got hurt? Was it
Boston Scott's not
Boston.
there. No, he's not there
No,
anymore. He moved on to someone else. Gainwell?
was it
Oh,
Gainwell?
yeah, Kenny Gainwell.
Was it Gainwell? I thought they had somebody else.
No, I think that's the backup. But
maybe not.
all right, yeah. So Philly,
We'll save the Chiefs for last.
Yeah.
San Francisco 11.5.
under, just barely. I got them regressing just because schedule gets way harder, and I had them at 11 wins.
They're gonna re-sign Brandon. Brandon's not gonna get his contract that he wants from another team, and especially the success. They're gonna re-sign him, And yeah, I'm taking the over.
What's the win total? What do you think?
12.
Okay.
Under at 11. Brock Purdy's fine.
Yeah.
He's just not great.
Right.
Ooh, here we go. This is it. This is what I wanted to hear. Because I mean, there was this guy. Maybe they like traded a bunch of picks for him.
Now this conversation's happening.
First off, I just want to be clear. I was not the only one on the Trey Lance bandwagon in this room.
Oh, but I distinctively
Well,
know.
hold on.
Remember,
I-
you were the campaign manager.
I consider myself in the middle in the sense of I was like, yeah, he's got talent. I just don't know if I'm ready to.
And you know what? Here we go. Here comes the backtrack.
I did not say that Trey Lance is. And what we were arguing was that should Trey Lance be the guy? And I was like, well, if you moved all those picks, he's got to end up being the guy. That's all I
think the original argument was Trey Lance or Teddy Bridgewater. And I still stand on.
I stand by that too because Trey Lance at least has talent. It just hasn't panned out. Teddy Bridgewater has no fucking talent.
You wait until Dak goes down this year and Trey Lance has to come in
think
and
I
save the
said
game.
better stats overall career.
I've never seen a guy do a 3-yard check down pass better than Teddy Bridgewater.
I'm just
he's
saying-
I've never seen it.
I'm just saying, in the bet,
Never seen a quarterback wear the number 50 look better.
we can rearrange this bet
the
for
linebacker that is Teddy
for
Bridgewater.
you guys. You know,
Well, he
because
had to wear 50 because he had to tackle people with all of his interceptions.
hey, Jesse, while you're up, can you go ahead and get the salt? Because I know these guys are pretty salty over here. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just sprinkle a little bit on these guys. Career-wise,
Teddy Bridgewater had a
stats.
better career.
Yeah, like I'm still in that bet if you want to still bet it. Teddy Bridgewater,
Wait, was
Trey
that?
Lance.
Wait, was that the bet?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was. And I'm still down with it. I know.
Caleb has a chance to rebound because Trey Lance is still. He's Trey.
like it's the
Yeah.
you gotta crack here.
Yeah, Trey Lance is still in the league. He's still in the league, so it's like
I've hopefully got another 5 years before I have to pay up.
I mean,
stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened.
You know, it's just weird.
I'm still taking. back to the 49ers.
Yeah.
I'm taking the.
I'm glad we're in agreement on that because I feel like if I say that out loud, people will be like, "Oh, you're crazy! They just made the Super Bowl." I'm like, I know, and I have them still making the playoffs, but I think
but from 12 to 11 is not that.
Yeah, what you said makes sense, but some people are like, they think that in their head, 14, 13 wins for the team that just made the Super Bowl.
It's like your comparison with who was it when you were like, no, I only think they get 6 or 7. Was it the Bills?
Yeah.
That one might be like, oh, people online.
That's
are like,
jarring
yo,
me just
you're
because
crazy.
Josh Allen
You're
is that great.
crazy.
And by the way, it is on the tape. Before we finish that, I did lean more towards 7 to 8 for them.
No, I know you're wrong. I have the same, like I said, mentality of like their minimum because of the talent that they've lost. I just believe in like once again somehow
I was
Josh
being a little
Allen.
dramatic when I said 6 or 7.
Josh Allen out of his ass is going to somehow.
If I could get those odds where they're like, you want to go over 6 wins for the Bills? I'm like, yeah.
Josh Allen just pulls it out of his ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the hardest part about defending them.
That's the only.
Who
thing.
scares you more, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen when you're going up against them? Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just what's around him.
Yeah.
All right, Chiefs 11.5, 15-2.
We're going 17-0. We're going
Well,
17-0.
I'm only taking 15-2 because they're going to be
Realistic.
they're going to be 15-0 and they're going to rest their
Yeah,
starters
the
for
last 2 weeks. Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
We joke about this. I know last year we were right in the sense that we picked him to win the Super Bowl. We got all that right.
Yeah.
But, I said undefeated last year. And although our defense looked way better than even I thought they were going to look, our offense struggled way more than I thought. And we lost a lot of games that I know I was calling Jeff on the phone being like, why won't we fucking trade for Mike Evans? I was angry. But this year, on paper, on our schedule, who should we not be favored to beat? We should be favored in every game.
Should be favored in every game.
Yeah.
But the way the NFL is,
I know. It never works out that way. You always lose games.
And I mean the Raiders game last year on Christmas Day. That was a low point.
Yeah.
And a game like that is going to happen this year. There's going to be a game on the schedule that we're all like going into it like, oh yeah, this is a 35-7 game, like easy, and we're going to lose that game.
we play down to our opponents. It seems like a lot of.
But the
majority.
biggest difference from this year is that they actually have a competent wide receiver room. They have speed.
You said competent,
Rashee Rice looked near the end of the year. He looked very competent.
but other than that, who do?
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah,
he's worthy. Yeah.
And Hollywood
half
Brown
my
when he
team
comes
is
back.
KC.
I like Hollywood Brown as a third receiver where it's like you can put him in, but Xavier.
Rasheed Rice, I'll give you that, and I'll give you Travis Kelce. Other than that,
Travis Kelce's going to be more open than he has been in like the last like 4 or 5 years.
So let's just look at what we added this year. Xavier Worthy.
Oh yeah.
Better,
A rookie.
A rookie. Still better than anything we had on this team last year outside of Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce.
But we didn't know that until we actually saw the season. We had projected, some of us had drafted Sky Moore at a very high round.
Some of us did, and I will own that.
No, I didn't name names. You didn't have to.
No. Hey, I just want our fans to know when I'm wrong, I'll own it. So I'm owning it.
Hey, I'm never wrong.
Have you heard the stories? Of,
I'm
like,
never
last
wrong.
Year,
So
Sky Brown was struggling, and I would call him on the phone, like, "What the fuck did Caleb think that this guy was going to be?" I was like, "I thought this guy's going to be good because you know your shit."
But
I
he
was
also,
like, "This guy sucks."
But didn't he also draft Rice?
I did.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah,
that one
so
turned out.
I mean, it's kind of like one of those, like,
Yeah.
okay, either one was going to do good or the other
But
one.
have we learned our lesson as a collective group? We've learned our
That's-
lesson that short receivers with big hands doesn't mean you're going to be good.
Well, and that's where, to me, I like on paper,
you
right?
still have hope for him, or what?
Oh no, Sky. I'm done with Sky Moore.
Even then, even on paper,
I've been burned.
the fact that Kadarius Toney was our second borderline third string top receiver last year, he's borderline fifth, sixth.
He's
option.
borderline not making the team.
Yes, so that's where it makes me feel more secure.
And that's where I'm saying, like, that's where I think we're competent.
Right,
Is if
competent to a certain extent.
if you're putting Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy in replacement of Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, that is a better wide receiver room than we had last year by miles.
Well, on paper, it looks like that.
Yes. Even if Hollywood Brown is the exact same player he was last year, where he had basically 600 yards and 4 touchdowns,
Oh, that's phenomenal.
take that any day. And he had that with 4 games of Kyler Murray, and the rest of the year he was playing with Josh Dobbs and Joe Schmo from down at that Conoco gas station we went to.
Can we talk about our rookies?
Wait, what do you mean?
Guys that we drafted this year.
our rookies.
Yeah, Xavier Worthy, we've talked about him.
Kingsley,
I can't wait because I think he's going to be great for us at left tackle. And then
Evan Steele.
Yeah, Carson Steele, your cousin.
Steele. My bad.
You have a cousin named Steele that's our fullback that he's probably going to be our starting fullback if we have a fullback.
what a stud!
Yeah, looks like the real deal.
Wait,
Jordan Hicks.
I told you. I said that's the guy.
Who's the rugby guy? Is that?
That's another guy. So Jordan Hicks, we got in the 4th round. When I saw the tape when they showed it up when he got drafted, he's 6'2", which is bigger than most guys that are playing the defensive backfield. He's athletic. He's got good instincts. He's just not like he doesn't have the quick speed that everyone wants sometimes. But it's like aside from that, it's like he does everything else well. So I love him. And then what's the backup tight end we got? Jared Wiley. Love him.
Yep. Solid draft. I think the offensive linemen that we drafted are probably a year, maybe 2 years away from doing anything. But that's a testament to what we have on the offensive line right now. I think that those guys probably have a chance. At least Norsad probably has a chance of making a starting line on another weaker offensive line. But being here where the interior
is just solid. Yeah.
But I think there's going to be some strong contributors on the rookie front for the Chiefs.
I mean, I just hope so because of expectations, is like we talked about. I mean, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, even was it Justin Watson? Watson was all right. What was it? He was that 600 guy, wasn't he?
I don't even think he got there.
I like him as
maybe
our
400.
He's
probably 4.
But it's nice. It's nice to have him.
more expectations.
It's nice to have Watson as a 4th-string receiver. That makes me feel pretty good.
But that didn't. A lot of times last year, didn't you see that though, where it was like, "Oh, Justin Watson was a great catch" or something like that?
I know, but like wins like total.
Last year I think we won 11 wins, and then the year before I think we went 12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah, because this year the only team that beat us was the Ravens for wins wise.
We were the 3 seed.
Justin Watson was.
But we tied 11 wins with
with the Bills. That's
but
what I
I'm
was
saying
saying.
like,
Yeah.
the 2 teams was
Yeah.
Niners
Right.
and Ravens.
Watson was 460 yards last year.
400. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
I don't
that sounds
think I
more
gave
realistic.
my opinion on the 49ers. I'm hoping they only get like fucking 7-8 wins and then get in a bus and crash.
Okay.
I don't like fucking California.
Okay.
at all.
All right.
All right.
We we don't wish death upon anybody. we end this
But
podcast.
California's
Okay.
going so far downhill, you probably don't even have to wish for.
Maybe they all
frostbite.
get like they turn into
Fine.
vegetables.
Severe injury.
Yeah, they turn into vegetables and they
That's
all
better.
just
Okay.
poop themselves for the rest of their lives.
AFC Championship game.
I got in Arrowhead, Chiefs, Jets, Chiefs win.
It sucks because I want that so bad. I want Chiefs and Jets. I want it so
I want
bad.
it.
I need Aaron versus Mahomes.
I want it, but I don't think it's happening.
Patrick adds one more goat on his mantelpiece of like, I beat that.
Yeah, both, but either vice versa. Both of them. Aaron rides it on his ship the way out the door, retires.
That would be if they knocked us off. In
Is
the
that
AFC
not,
Championship game,
that's
that would-
the only best script. If the NFL's writing
Yeah,
script,
yeah,
it's
it's
Aaron.
writing
It's
script.
Aaron and Mahomes. It has
Yeah.
to be. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. And I'm not gonna. That's what I project.
Interesting to see
That's what I predict.
Caleb's AFC prediction. AFC Championship.
Wait, hold on. Who is it? It's Mahomes and
Don't say Lamar. Don't.
No. We're getting a rematch in the AFC Championship game. Bengals Chiefs.
Bengals Chiefs. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Lamar again.
No, Burrow. Oh wait, no. Rewind. I had them under. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't have them there. I'll go with the team that was originally in my head. Chiefs and
Don't say Dolphins.
not the Dolphins.
Buccaneers.
Bills.
Texans.
So you
Okay.
are one of those people. You do
Okay.
think they're the biggest threat to us.
No, I don't think they're the biggest threat.
You just think that's how it
But they
plays
can
out.
get hot.
I just think that's how it's going to play out.
Okay.
Okay. I think we smack them if we see them in the playoffs.
NFC Championship.
They're so young. They're so young.
I know we all have the Chiefs winning that game.
Yes.
No matter who we're
Yes.
playing. So
Oh,
Chiefs in the
smack.
Super Bowl. NFC Championship game.
I'll do my same prediction as last year, but I do think that both these teams, that's who I like. I got Rams Lions in a championship game in LA,
Rams Lions.
and I got the Rams winning.
All right.
Give me Eagles and Lions.
Mhm.
Well,
Where's it in? Where's that location?
home field advantage
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Who do you like better, Detroit or Philly?
Philly because of that
Regular
division-
season?
because of that division. Yeah.
Okay.
And I bet you.
So Eagles, you have Eagles Chiefs rematch, Super Bowl rematch from.
Oh, well, no, I'm saying home field advantage. The Eagles
Okay.
will play the Detroit Lions. When it comes down to that aspect, I think, yeah, Sirianni, that's why he's on the hot seat. Campbell jumps
I'd be
in.
happy if he made it to Super Bowl.
Campbell and the Chiefs. I like that.
Lions Chiefs.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I'm going Rams are hosting the NFC Championship game in LA against the Packers.
Okay. Yeah.
And Packers
Ooh,
win.
Stafford versus Jordan Love, the arm ability in that game.
Packers win. Chiefs Packers Super Bowl.
Jordan Love, the new, he's making his name. Like that would be huge for him.
I see what you're doing here.
You know, we always wanted the Mahomes and Rodgers.
Rodgers just
Packers.
couldn't
Rodgers couldn't do it. Love's got to step in.
I feel like this Super Bowl is like when you go to the Chinese buffet and you're like, man, they got the vanilla and they got the chocolate. I'll just do the mix. You know what I mean?
Hey, can't go wrong.
Dolphins, Buccaneers.
Let's go. Baker Mayfield.
Well, here's your problem, Jesse. Tua's eventually going to have to play somewhere outdoors and cold. And I was there at the game this year. He was awful, and it was awesome to watch for me. That I didn't feel cold when Tua was out there. I was like, I'm right as rain.
Hey, you know what? We've got a solution for that. It's called global warming.
Okay.
Whoa.
Who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
Buccaneers.
Okay, if that were to happen, what does he win?
Bro,
what does he
put,
get?
put like a $50.
Yeah.
I will happily give you $50.
Because you would get to like the NFC Championship and they'd be like, your buyout would be like $50,000.
No, well, I was gonna say, wouldn't he win like $300,000 if that paid off?
Oh yeah.
Oh, easily.
I wonder what the odds are on this.
See, sports betting can be your lottery ticket. I know you like playing the lottery, but
You know what?
But
If,
once
if
again,
those two teams even are in the NFC and AFC Championship game, I'll give you $50.
Like I said,
Yeah.
he could. Like I said, Bucks could show up to the NFC, and yeah,
they almost did last year. They
Vegas
almost made it.
Vegas would be all like, "Yo, okay, we'll buy you out."
I believe more in the Bucks than the Dolphins.
We'll give you
And
20
it's not-
grand.
It's not all the talent you talk about the Dolphins. 100%, I agree with you. I just can't buy to it. If they got a different quarterback, I could probably.
The thing that I think helps the Dolphins and the biggest reason that I'm saying that they're going to win those games is because Tua's fine when the weather is warm.
He's
And he can win 10 games before that clock turns cold.
That is true.
We're at 2 hours and 4 minutes. I'd say we wrap up.
No, wait. Can we wrap it up with like top 10 quarterbacks or something like that?
yeah. No, I like this.
Unless there's a different topic. We can.
Yeah, top 10 quarterbacks. Love it.
Do we want to do that?
No particular order. Just throw.
Can we go bottom to top?
Sure.
Obviously, because we all know number one is what for all.
Patrick Mahomes. We all agree.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's really do 2 through 9,
Yeah.
2 through 10.
Yeah. And I guess you can start any way that you want, but personally, I'm going to go from 10 to 2. So
Okay. 10, I got Lamar. If he could read, that probably would help him move up. 9, I
a
got
lot of accusations that Lamar cannot read on this.
not 9.
podcast.
I got
not condone.
9. I got Dak Prescott.
Thank you.
8, I got Brock Purdy. 7, I have Joe Burrow. 6, I have Jared Goff. 5,
Hold on, Mahomes.
Yeah.
Then who'd you say?
well, I'm not doing. I'm going like 10 to 2.
Oh, you said Tua, right?
No,
No, you said Jackson.
Lamar 10. 9 is Dak Prescott.
Okay.
8 is Brock Purdy.
Okay.
7 is Joe Burrow. 6 is Jared Goff. Jared Goff stays healthy. Joe Burrow doesn't. 5 is Josh Allen.
Okay.
4 is. I know. Hold on. Okay, Rodgers is in my top like 3 because if he's healthy, like he's that good. So maybe I'll put him 2. I'm missing somebody.
You get Josh Allen?
Yeah, I hit him at
He was
5,
at
but I might have to
5.
bump him up.
Allen was at
You got-
5.
You got Kirk Cousins?
I do like Kirk a lot. Okay. No, not there. But I'm saying slide everybody up one spot from where they have it.
I know who's in your top 3, and you're not missing him yet.
I didn't say somebody.
From the Rams.
Oh, Stafford. Yeah. Forgot. So I'll top 3 because they got rings and I believe in their talent is Mahomes, Rodgers, Stafford. Then I have Josh Allen 4, and then 5. Who did I say? Jared Goff makes my 5th spot. I just need to come up with who.
Yeah, I think it's 6th or 7th that you're missing.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me do this again. 6 is Burrow. 7 is Purdy. 8 is Dak. 9 is Lamar. 10 Jalen Hurts.
All right then, Brown. Do you want to start? Or do you want
Yeah,
me to
you
go?
can go ahead.
Do you want me to go? Obviously, yeah. Mahomes number 1. Number 2.
Kyler Murray. Number 2.
Ooh, don't tempt me. I'll start it. I'll do 2 to 10 because I think that makes it easier for me. Number 2, the number 2 best quarterback in the NFL right now is Josh Allen.
Okay.
Number 3, I am very high if he's healthy. Burrow.
Okay.
Number 4, once again, same thing. If he's healthy, I think Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm.
Number 5, I'm probably a lot more high on him than compared to a lot of other people. Jared Goff. Number 6, I will give it to Stafford. Number 7, Prescott. Number 8, Purdy. Number 9. This is when it gets kind of tough. Number 9, Jackson. And number 10, I'll go ahead and say Herbert.
I'm going number 10, Trevor Lawrence.
I like that.
He's a bum!
Number 9, Jared Goff.
Okay.
8, Aaron Rodgers. 7, I am going Jalen Hurts. 6, I say Aaron Rodgers already.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
At 8.
Stafford.
Okay.
5. Mine 5 or 6.
Here, 5.
5. Jordan Love.
Okay.
You guys.
No, I didn't have him in my top 10. I like him a lot, but
I just know a lot of people that really love Jordan Love.
it makes sense to me. I get it.
4, Burrow.
Okay.
3,
Did you say Lamar already?
No.
3, Lamar. 2, Allen.
Okay.
one Mahomes.
So did Herbert make either of your lists?
I did.
Where'd you put him?
He was, I think, like, what, 7, 8 for me or
Herbert's
something.
not in my top.
Yeah, I was like, he just didn't win enough for me, but I know that's one that people put up there. Overall, I don't think anyone really had something too crazy.
Anybody have Stroud?
No, that's what I was expecting. I was waiting for somebody
I
to
need
go
more sample size.
Yeah,
That's why I
absolutely.
didn't put Love or Stroud in
Yeah,
my top
same
10
thing.
because I need more of
Yeah.
a sample
Crazy.
size.
Did you get Dak Prescott?
Yeah, we all. I think we all.
Did he make our top 10? No, not yours.
Oh.
You're out? You're out on Dak?
He's like 10, 11, or
Okay.
11, 12.
Where's Bo Nix at?
Dude, he's bottom. He's the very last. I have a
32.
32, exactly.
32.
I like Gardner Minshew better than him. I like name anybody.
Crazy.
Patriots. You like him? What's the guy?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I like Jacoby Brissett more than I like Bo Nix.
I also
probably
I like
like
Mel-
Kyle Trask better. Than
I like Milton
Bo.
the Third more than.
I also feel like I didn't hear Tua anywhere. What
No,
about
you
Tua?
didn't.
Tua would be like my 20th best quarterback. I really think if you put him on a different team,
I
don't
think. I'm not
Baker
gonna-
Mayfield. Anybody?
he's high up
I
for
think.
me.
I think.
13.
I think our
It's like spot on.
20 through 11 would be more interesting.
I'm not.
But no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we have to do that. But I think that would be the more controversial, like, because the top 10 is always like, yeah, at least top 5. You're all like, okay, it's a stereotypical.
Okay, so a few names
What
in my
about-
next 10. Lawrence is in my next 10. Who else?
Mitchell Trubisky.
Baker.
Baker's in my next 10. What? Kirk Cousins is in my next 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kirk was
That-
Kirk's probably 11 on my list.
that's when it starts trickling down. But like 20th, 19th, like when we start raking them that close.
but then you're also talking about like projections of rookies into there. Like, do
no,
you think
I'm saying
Derek Carr's
Flat
in
out.
my next 10, but he's at the very back. He's like 19 or
Drew
something.
Lock.
he's like
Nick
20,
Mullins.
21st?
I think he's
Daniel Jones is about 31.
Not for me, he's not. I'm the last person still left on I think he can be saved. I know.
Sam Darnold.
No. Sam
29.
Darnold's, yeah, Sam Darnold's not in the
You
next
said 31. I went to that number.
Sam
It's
Darnold's
crazy
not.
that we would rank like Caleb, Jaden, and like all these other.
That's the
rookies
thing with those
over-
guys, though. I
over.
can't really rank them because they haven't done anything in the NFL. So that's why
Sure,
it's like
sure,
I can't.
sure.
It's hard.
That's why CJ is so hard to rank. That's
I'm,
why
I'm
I
at the point where I think Dan Orlovsky was a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
I don't know about
Orlovsky was awful.
That's it. Yeah,
He was
yeah.
awful.
Come on.
Danny Dumps?
Daniel Jones could at least go, hey, remember that time I destroyed the Vikings? Orlovsky against the Vikings runs out of the back of the end zone.
Oh,
Who was the
Giants.
guy that ran out of the back of the end zone last year?
Jimmy G did it a few years ago. He did it.
Yeah. And Danny Dumps was like, thank God somebody else did this. Well, we're going to sign off.
Yeah, that's it, right? Are we still recording?
Oh, I'll end it right now.
All right. Have a good one.
Israel on Assad. Yeah.
Yeah, I got DDP.
DDP.
Yeah.